It's a chilly fall Friday night in Kaiser, West Virginia. Tonight, we see the 4-2 Kaiser Golden Tornado match up against the 2-3 Jefferson Cougars. Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Allegheny Media, empowered by the Belt Group. I'm Chris Welch, and with me tonight is my broadcast partner, back from his trip up north in Michigan, Mr. Matt Shipway.
How you doing tonight, Chris?
How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm happy to be back here and under the Friday night lights here. It's football weather tonight for sure.
Yeah, we're looking at about mid-50s degrees. Lights are on. It's going to be a nice, cool night. Football weather.
Yeah, definitely. Got the band out there getting ready to do their thing, and we got a pretty good matchup that we can look forward to tonight, I believe.
Yeah, this is a common matchup. One of the other local schools in the county, Frankfort, had played against Jefferson earlier this year, so this would be a good way to see a comparison between us and Frankfort.
Yeah, definitely.
We will take a short pause as we rise for our national anthem. People sitting in the stands tonight wearing their jackets, hot hands, hot cocoa, blankets. It's football weather, baby.
It is definitely football weather out there. Nice crisp feel. It was rainy and kind of foggy this overnight and this morning, but it has cleared up very nicely, and it's not going to be raining tonight. Might have some
cold hands.
Yeah, some cold hands, but we're not going to be wet and soggy, that's for sure.
So we'll start things off by going over the starting lineups for tonight's matchup. On offense tonight at quarterback is Gavin Root, fullback Dre Allen, halfback Sammy Bradfield, wingback Zion Powell, tight end Braden Keller, tackle Luke Anderson, guard Caden Youngblood, center Bradley Summers, guard Gabe Ryan, tackle Vito Amoruso. Your other receiver is Damian Emmerich. And your punter tonight will be Zion Powell, and your kicker is Seth Ernest.
And on defense, let's see, Gavin Root is going to be playing corner along with Malachi Blow. Seth Healy is going to be back at safety. Got Benny Oates, Caden Youngblood, Chase Evans, and Zion Powell at the linebacking positions. And defensive end, Gabe Ryan. The other defensive end is Dre Allen. Tackles will be Vito Amoruso and Luke Anderson. And Seth Ernest will be doing the place kicking duties as well.
So Kaiser trying to rebound back from a loss to Point Pleasant last week. Traveled to the far end of the state and lost to Point Pleasant in a little bit of a shootout, 38-28. Point Pleasant's quarterback actually broke a school record for most completions in a game. Seems like teams are, at least in the area, I mean, we said it going into the beginning of the year, how teams locally were starting to really start to throw the ball more. And Point Pleasant definitely took advantage of Kaiser in that sense. We've been saying all year long that's been Kaiser's weakest point has been the pass coverage. And Point Pleasant just marched down the field on them all day long with the short to intermediate passing game.
Right, yeah, and you don't really necessarily have to chunk off big yards when you do those an effective passing game like that. I mean, some of the best teams in the state. Martinsburg's made a living off of the short and medium range passing game, and like you said, we've talked about some of the work that needs to be done in the defensive secondary for Kaiser. They are making strides. I will say that. 38's not necessarily a low score, but to kind of have that experience and see what they could do against a quarterback like that is only going to serve them well, especially going into a game like tonight where we're going to see a little bit more of a spread out type of offense. It might be somewhat similar.
Yeah, Kaiser they made a couple adjustments in the second half of the game last week. You see them switch from like a 4 or 5 down line to 3 down line and try to get some more athletic bodies in there to cover in the zones where they need to be. But all in all, it led to a loss for Kaiser. So definitely looking for a rebound tonight against Jefferson. Jefferson coming in at 2-3, like we said earlier, had lost to Frankfurt earlier in the year, 28-19, in a pretty well fought game as well. This team, at least from just watching them as they were warming up, they're pretty stacked athletically. They got a lot of skill position guys. They run a 4 or 5 wide set. We've seen it from Hampshire and a couple other teams this year, but this team seems pretty athletic on the outside edges. They're a team that passes well, and they pass often. Right.
And, one of the things that we were talking about sort of pregame when we were discussing, the keys and what we were looking at tonight is that spread, the pass, and then also – getting exploited on the outside. If you're thinking pass and dropping back some of your down linemen, then you open that up. If you pull a defensive end back into coverage, you've given up that outside edge if there's a sweep or any kind of outside run coming out of the spread. So teams that have a good inside running game try to suck the defense in and then pass over them. These spread teams like this, they try to get you back in sort of a prevent type of a defense, and then all of a sudden run on you, and they're still going to chug off 6 or 7 yards on a sweep.
And one of the things that's definitely going to be working to Jefferson's advantage, if you just look at their team that they got set up here, their receivers, they got some good size to them. Number 23, Spencer Powell's listed at 6'3", 180. Kaysen Lanza is listed at 6'4", 195. They got some guys that can really not only stretch the field vertically downfield, but also on those jump balls, and kind of got the height on some of our DBs, so that'll be a challenge for him as well.
Yeah, definitely, and that just makes the quarterback look even better when he can get the ball a little bit near the receiver and let the receiver do part of the work as well. It increases or decreases the margin of error. If the ball is thrown a little too high, those guys can go up and get it, and that could be problematic if the coverage isn't really tight on these guys when they're downfield.
And Jefferson also has a pretty big boy, Nathaniel, I believe, Mule, I think is what his name is, and he's built like a mule. He's listed at 6'3", 246, and he'll be getting a couple carries and stuff tonight as well. So he's you got all this height and speed on the outside, and he got a pretty big body that'll be lead blocking and getting a few handoffs himself up the middle. So this will definitely be a challenge for this Kaiser defense going into tonight.
Yeah, especially when you have a spread offense like that, and you've got those really wide splits on the line, and you catch the defense cheating a little bit out or a little bit back, and you give someone of that size a head of steam out of the backfield through a wide open gap through the line, the linebackers are going to have to recover quickly to get back up there and stop him before he reels off a good chunk of yardage.
And, even last week against Point Pleasant, Kaiser kind of maintained their same offensive game plan as they have all year. Spread the ball around, get the ball to their multitude of backs. And they did well. They had a couple different guys score last week against Point Pleasant, and they ran their game plan well. It's just, defensively they weren't able to keep up.
Right.
Offensively, they executed, and they didn't put up, 55, 70 points like they have earlier in the year against some teams, but they were able to compete at a pretty high level against a good defense of Point Pleasant as well. So
yeah, 28 points isn't anything to shake your head at. That's a pretty good amount of points to get. But yeah, when you're in a shootout, you need a little bit more than that, unfortunately.
So we want to remind everyone that tonight's scoreboard integration and scoreboard is brought to you by the Wheelhouse Academy. providing athletic training and skills training for everybody in the local area. So while we got a moment here before the teams make their way to the field, let's take a quick moment for a commercial from the Wheelhouse. As we have a couple Kaiser players lining up for the coin toss tonight. Looks like the captains for tonight's matchup will be number 31, Gavin Root, number 81, Caden Ivana, and number 42, Dre Allen.
The Cougars have not made their way up here yet. They're waiting till the tornado warning has passed, apparently, as the black and gold comes out.
So this Kaiser team making their way out to the back corner of the end zone, as they always do, carrying the K and running out onto the field to start tonight's matchup.
Really quick, sort of to go back to the offensive strategy that we were talking about with Kaiser. Like you said, I don't think they need to change anything tonight either. What they've been doing, because we talked about their offense is prolific. It can still put points up. It can still chunk yards, and they can get the big play. The big play might be a little bit more limited tonight if they're going up against a faster secondary. Zion and Dre and those guys might not necessarily be outrunning the secondary, but a big play tonight might be a 15 to 20 yard play instead of a 50-yard touchdown or something.
I think one of the key contributors for tonight is definitely going to be, and I mean honestly he has been all year, but I think Dre Allen definitely is going to be a big guy, both literally and figuratively, for Kaiser this year.
Kaiser's got this from what we're looking at, and when we look at the stats sheet, looks like Kaiser's got the edge on line size, which on offense would be a really good thing if they can establish the run and then get outside, but also on defense, if that defensive line can get some pressure on the quarterback as well.
Yeah, I mean, they got a couple big tackles, but, I mean, they aren't one of the biggest teams that Kaiser's seen so far this year.
Right.
Leaders for the coin toss for Jefferson looks to be number 50, Brady Chrisman.
13.
Number 13, John Gidney.
78, the big guy.
Number 78, 6'1", 350-pound Drake Sims. We said they had a couple big boys.
Yeah. I think that's number 11 there on the end.
And number 11 will be Samuel Roberts, the quarterback.
He's standing right across from from Root, and they're pretty much built the same kind of. He's a little bit taller, but sort of, they look both like they could be mobile quarterbacks. If you would just look at them, you would say they both look like they could run, and we know Gavin can.
Yeah.
And when you're a quarterback running out of a high school spread, you're going to be mobile as well. Jefferson did win the toss and deferred to the second half, so.
Kaiser offense will make their way out to start it off.
Kaiser will see if they can get some points on the board first.
So before we get to the kickoff here, just quickly go over our keys to victory for tonight. Number one is going to be maintaining pass coverage and slowing down the passing game the best that you can. Along with that, big way to slow down the passing game is going to be getting pressure on the quarterback. And then, as we were saying earlier, getting the backfield moving, getting that rotation of backs going downhill and grinding yardage all the way down through the field for them.
Right, and that's the key is even if they're not getting to the quarterback and sacking him, that they're able to get in there to make him move to the right or left. A lot of times quarterbacks, they're used to throwing from a certain position, and if they're on the run and not comfortable with where they're throwing from, that's when mistakes happen and interceptions happen and fumbles happen.
Yeah, I mean, and it's high school football, and not everybody's going to be, Lamar Jackson and Patrick Mahomes out here throwing on the run cross body. So if you can get a quarterback to be forced out of the pocket, it increases your chances of incomplete passes downfield and maybe getting a pick or two if needed.
Right.
So as we get ready to line up for our kickoff is brought to you by First People's Federal Credit Union.
Nathaniel Mill will kick off for the Cougars.
The official sponsor of the Kaiser High School kickoff as we get ready to start today. Little roller down towards the middle of the field. Kind of rolls through the hands of Dre Allen, who just kind of falls on top of it.
Yeah, it looks like he was waiting for the ball to kind of come to him, and then he realized he was on his knee, so he didn't want to touch the ball while on his knee, and when he stood up, he kind of missed the ball, so he had to fall on it. But it's better to fall on it there than muff it and give the other team the ball right there on the 22-yard line.
As the offense makes their way up to the line here at about the 21-yard line. Gavin Root back in shotgun, brings a man in motion, hands it off to Powell in motion. He has a good gain here initially, and he is pushed out of bounds after a good first down gain of about 11, 12 yards.
Yeah, and that was, Jefferson came out and pretty much go ahead and try and run at us, and like a 6-2 almost, and Kaiser went right outside of that.
And now this looks like they're running the jet sweep the opposite way. Zion Powell gains about a couple, and he fumbles on the play.
Don't want to see that happen. When he went in for the to sort of power through the line, instead of putting his shoulder down, he did something you're encouraged not to do, and that is turn your back and spin through a big crowd like that, and the ball just got popped right out.
Ball got punched out there, so Jefferson will now take over with the ball in Kaiser territory. Starting off around the 36-yard line. Quarterback is Samuel Roberts, back in shotgun. Three receivers out to his left. He's going to throw a quick little bubble screen over to number 13, John Gidney.
You hear some shouts for hold out there, and that's the thing that Kaiser's going to have to fight through, because you're not going to get a holding call on every play. Good downfield blocking is what we're going to call that.
Gidney, one of them very athletic guys that Jefferson has. He's a senior for him. Been making plays for him all year long. Back is Roberts again in shotgun. He's going to drop back, and looks like a miscommunication as he throws it over the head of his receiver, number 7, Kason Lanza. Don't know how you overthrow a man who's 6'4".
I was just getting ready to say that. That has to be a route read there, not a misthrow exactly at him, because he is towering over the secondary there. So if they get the ball to him, he's probably going to jump up and get it. That was a route issue.
Looks like we have a wrong ball issue here.
I think someone needed to chase the ball down. We don't normally, limited attendance, you don't have the kids around the field that go and chase the ball when they go out of bounds.
Handoff will be up the middle, and it will be a decent gain. Evan Toole with the carry.
Yeah, that was a really good push from the Jefferson line there. It looks like they're going to try and see what they can do with the power, power them a little bit, and especially down inside the 20 here.
Well, that can really work to your advantage if you have an athletic back there. You spread them out and force all these linebackers to go out wide in coverage and just take it up the middle on them. Mm-hmm. Roberts looking back over to the sideline to get the call.
Using up all the play clock.
Roberts draws back. He's going to throw it out wide, and it is caught. Seth Healy will make the tackle.
Foul on that reception out there in the play.
Nice little, looks like about a 7-8 yard out route.
Yeah, Kaiser's playing nice soft coverage out there, trying to keep the guys in front of him. He recovered quickly, though, to make the tackle. But
Roberts remaining in shotgun as they get within the 5-yard line. He's going to hand it up the middle to number 6, Christian Blow. Benny Oates does not let him bounce outside.
Good penetration by the Kaiser players there. You know, if Kaiser knows it's a run situation and Jefferson runs, Kaiser's going to be all over that because they are used to playing that power type run down here inside the 10-yard line.
Roberts back in shotgun once again, 2 receivers to his left, 1 to his right. Draws back, he's going to throw a fade route to the back corner of the end zone. And it is... Referee's making the determination. Caught! Touchdown, Jefferson.
One guy watching his feet, the other guy watching his hands, and they had to make sure that both of them saw the same thing of a catch and his at least one toe inbound. High school, 1 foot, and really good, and again, throw it to the tall guy, throw it if you can get over the defender, and that's what they did.
Samuel Roberts with a beautiful back corner fade there in the end zone. Couldn't have placed it any better.
Right.
They will line up to go for 2 here with 5 wide. Throw a quick little out route, and it is dropped by the receiver into the end zone. So the 2-point conversion will be no good. We have 9:53 here in the first quarter, and after the Zion Powell fumble, Jefferson will take the initial lead here, up 6-0 against the Golden Tornado. Let's look here at this replay. Seth Healy's in pretty good coverage. And it looks like he just got that foot in on that inside corner. Remember, high school and college football, you only have to have 1 foot in. So, absolutely gorgeous pass and catch there on the play. And it looks like we're going to get ready to line up here for our first People's Federal Credit Union kickoff. Also, remind everyone that our first quarter of tonight's game is brought to you by Coldwell Banker and Hometown Realty. If you're interested in buying or selling your home, contact Coldwell Banker today.
The last time Jefferson kicked off, they kicked off just sort of a squib roller down the middle, and it ended up paying off very well for them because it put Kaiser right around the 20-yard line, and then, of course, the fumble sort of put the icing on that whole cake for them.
And kick will go out of bounds. Nathaniel Mule, also the kicker for him.
That's a very old school type look where you have the big straight on toe kicker. It's the fullback, and he's also the kicker. And a lot of schools they focus a lot more on kicking now with having soccer style kickers, but that's a little bit more old school there.
So because of the kick out of bounds, Golden Tornado will start off with the ball at the 39-yard line. Gavin Root going under center. We'll hand it off to Dre Allen up the middle, who will get maybe a couple yards, gain of about 2 on the play. Nathaniel Mule with the tackle on the play. Guys are hurrying back to the line.
That's going to be a key to keep the offense going and keep Jefferson on their heels.
Root is going to keep it, throw it to the man crossing, that is Sammy Bradfield. He breaks out 1 tackle, he comes back inside. Sammy Bradfield's going to take it in with a Golden Tornado touchdown.
58-yard touchdown.
Absolutely gorgeous throw and catch.
Yeah, that's a really, you're playing against a defensive secondary that's pretty tall and pretty quick, so they're running some really crisp routes there to get that wide open, and then Sammy making some really nice looking moves down there to break free and almost ran over the referee.
And the Seth Ernest kick is up and good. Kaiser will now take the lead, up 7-6. Came out on that drive and decided, Jefferson, if you can throw the ball, we can throw it too.
Exactly.
Gavin Root faked that jet to Zion Powell, made a read to the crossing man, Sammy Bradfield, who then makes a couple men miss, makes his cut, and walks into the end zone.
And I like the call there. I mean, I really like the call. You know, I think that you see a little bit different look when with Derek Stephen, the coach now, you know, a little bit different style than what Kaiser's used to. And I think that's I don't want to say it's a gutsy call because Kaiser knows they can throw the ball well, but I think it was just an excellently placed call there. So kudos to the offensive coordinator and coaches on, you know, I think catching Jefferson sort of sleeping, thinking, oh, they're going to run some more jets and they're going to run on us a little bit. And, you know, just a beautiful play.
That quick scoring drive is going to be brought to you by the Timbrook Automotive Group. As Seth Ernest goes back to line up for the kick. And it's going to be a little pooch kick downfield, recovered by number 15, Carter Schroyer, who makes a couple men miss, and he actually takes it up to pretty good field position around the 44.
Yeah, Kaiser's trying to, you know, try to get the ball to fall sort of in the middle so they can have their lineman, their coverage team down there to get down there before the Jefferson could really get a wall established, and they did that, but the return was a very well done return and made some.
Now Kaiser making a couple adjustments. They got Zion Powell out at corner now. Low pass out there on the quick little bubble screen.
You're going to see a hold there. Fairly obvious hold.
Pass completed to Gidney, but it looks like it'll be being brought back after a hold on the play.
Yeah, you're right. The Kaiser looked like they sort of made a really good in-game adjustment there. They're willing to sort of give up a gap in the middle there and dare Jefferson to run it and say, well, we're going to spread some guys a little bit more out here into we're going to clog up the zone a little bit. And
you got Seth Healy down playing corner with Zion Powell and Gavin Root with Sammy Bradfield back at safety. And play will be blown dead after a false start on the offense.
Preliminary indication is it's going to be procedure against Jefferson. 5-yard mark off will make it first and 25 from the 29.
I think someone on the Jefferson line is getting a little anxious there, wanted to beat his blocker. Unfortunately, he didn't wait for the ball to be snapped.
Now first and 25 for the Jefferson offense. Snap back to Roberts. He's going to roll out to his right. Throw a quick pass out, and he will drag the toe and be in. Gain a couple of those penalty yardage back.
Yeah, and that's a really, this is something that Kaiser is going to need to take advantage of. If there are any mistakes that happen in a shootout, mistakes are what change the game and what sways it one way or another. So when Jefferson makes some mistakes and gets themselves into a hole, Kaiser's got to capitalize and keep them from digging back out.
Roberts back, quick little bubble screen out to Gidney. Tries to bounce it out. Ball's on the ground, and it just luckily rolls out of bounds.
Yeah, that took a quicker bounce there and went out of bounds. They actually ended up losing a yard on that play.
So 3rd and 16 now. Roberts getting his call from the sideline. Roberts 4 receivers out wide, one back to his right. He's going to drop back, pressure coming at him, throw it across the middle, and it is incomplete. Intended for John Gidney, broken up by Sammy Bradfield across the middle.
Excellent play by Bradfield. He got a little bit beat on the route, but he was able to make up for it by making a nice hard tackle before the receiver could even put the ball away.
And the big man, Nathaniel Mule, back. Not only is he a kicker, but he's also the punter. As he hits kind of a line drive back to Zion Powell, and it's a good Jefferson roll. Will be tagged down around the 14-yard line.
Yeah, Zion was eyeing that up at first, and if it would have bounced right to him, he was ready to go, but it took a wonky bounce and went off to the right, and he just had to let it go. And
Took everything in his system not to
I know.
try to pick that thing up.
I can feel it up here. I can feel him going, you know.
He wanted to grab it and go, but took a Jefferson bounce. Now Kaiser will take over with the ball at about the 13-yard line. Hand off to Hunter Van Pelt, bouncing out wide. And he is tackled out of bounds after the first down carry.
And that was, albeit with different personnel, that was the first play of the game that Kaiser ran and had pretty much this identical result. So they've had some luck on the outside, and as long as they can hold on to the ball.
Hand off on the jet again to Hunter Van Pelt. This time doesn't get anywhere. Might actually lose the yard on the play on that one.
And, you know, a little bit of strategery going on out there because, you know, that was the second play that Kaiser ran at the beginning of the game. Unfortunately, that was the one that
they're really trying to string them out wide with the jet sweeps.
They are, and I think that's what they're, you know, it's a setup. It's a game of chess, and they're trying to get them to.
Kaiser with Damian Emmerich out wide. Going to hand off the middle to Dre Allen. He has a little bit of space. He bounces off of a man. And he will get brought down around the 50-yard line.
Picked up by Christian Ball.
Dre Allen shot like a cannonball up the middle of that A gap.
20, 21-yard game there. But like I said, you know, they were setting him up outside, and then just strung him out and went up the middle.
Hand off to Zion Powell out wide. He's going to string it down the sideline. Makes contact with the corner. Gains about 13 on the play. Kaiser stringing some good chunk yardage here on this drive now.
Ball spotted at the Jefferson 39-yard line. Touchdown, Burlington.
It's kind of like, you know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And if they're going outside and getting those kinds of yards, let's do it.
And Root will hand off to Powell once again on the jet. Gains about 6 or 7 on the play.
Now, I don't want to go prediction here and say they're going to go with Dre Allen up the middle, but it would be very formulaic if that happened. And I think you're going to see a little bit of something different here. Because if I notice that, you know Jefferson coaches notice that. So let me see if do a
Sammy Bradfield and Emmerich out wide.
And it was going to be a pass, so that was going to be a little bit different.
Legal procedure against Golden Tornado.
Legal procedure against the Kaiser offense will back them up.
5-yard mark off.
It seems to kind of be the formula, you know, you hit them outside, and once we can tell that you're trying to stretch guys out, we're going to hit you right up the gut with it.
And that time it looked like they were going to look down the middle and pass the ball and just had a penalty instead.
Man in motion is Powell. Root will drop back. A little bit of pressure. He throws on the run, and it is incomplete. Intended for Sammy Bradfield.
Yeah, threw off his back foot while he was running, and he had someone in hot pursuit. Bradfield was semi-open. It's just, you know,
hard. I mean, like we were saying at the beginning of the game, you know, it's hard. You know, in high school, not everybody's a pinpoint passer when they're on the run.
Right.
Root's going to roll out. He's going to keep it. Goes upfield and he slides down at the 28-yard line, which will be good enough for the Kaiser first down, I believe.
Slides to the turf.
It's such a weapon when you have a nice running quarterback like that. He does have a good arm because he's a weapon as a passer. But, you know, you can hear the other sideline yelling pass, and when he heard that, he just took off running and got the first down.
Root will hand it up the middle to Sammy Bradfield.
Sammy Bradfield on the
Gets about 3 on the play. I was actually surprised to see him slide on that. Gavin tends to be pretty hard-headed and tries to want to plow through people sometimes. So it was good to see him actually try to slide down and avoid the contact on that play.
Right.
Gavin will keep that one and almost
Gavin Root on the keeper.
gets out of the hands of the linebacker.
Tackle by
Number
Nolan
59,
Melib.
Nolan Melib.
First down, Golden Tornado.
Yeah, Kaiser's just really on a roll right here. They're just doing whatever they really want running the ball.
Hand off to Van Pelt in motion. And he is hit down.
Hunter Van Pelt on
Gain
the
of maybe
carry.
1 on the play.
Tackle by Evan
Looked
Tony.
like he was going to try to cut it back upfield, but then they seen the pursuit coming. By the time he tried to bounce it back, they were already there on him. So
Yeah, Sammy Bradfield was blocking well downfield and pushed the player to the inside or to the outside. Unfortunately, he cut right into that.
Root will keep it, gain a couple
Gavin Root
on
on
the
the
play,
keeper. Tackle by Brady
gets
Gibson.
it within the 10-yard line. This red zone trip is a reminder that this game is powered by the Belt Group, providing us the generator to power our production bus and power tonight's matchup. Ray Allen has nowhere to go on the handoff.
Ray Allen the carry.
I don't even think he got a yard on
First
that
one
one.
on the scene.
I don't think so. I think Jefferson stood the line up pretty well there. I think they were really ready for that running play there. And that's going to happen occasionally, but otherwise, Kaiser's been doing pretty much what they want.
Good on the play.
They got the big 350-pounder Greg Sims right there in the middle. Root will roll out. Looks like he's going to try to throw it to size of Tuckett. He's going to take it in for the Tornado touchdown.
He definitely did the slide there. He put his shoulder into that.
Looked like he was actually looking to throw that one towards the back of the end zone. Eventually decided to pull it down, take the contact, and get the score. Touchdown, Gavin Root. As Seth Ernest lines up for the kick, Seth Healy, his holder. Kick is up and good.
That bonus kick is good. 4:28 remaining in the quarter. Kaiser 14.
So with
Jefferson 6.
4:23 left here in the first quarter, Kaiser stretching out the lead a little bit, up 14-6 against the Jefferson Cougars.
Yeah, I like what Kaiser's been doing here. Like we said, they started out with a little bit of a formula. That doesn't necessarily mean predictable. That means formula. That means that's what we practice. This is what we're going to do. We think this is the best thing that's going to work against this offense.
So we see here, Root rolls out, has the arm up, a little pump fake like he's going to throw it, shakes off the tackle, takes it in the end zone, and just takes a shot.
Yeah, about 2 yards deep. He'd already scored by then.
That's all that mattered to him.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
As we get ready to line up here for our First People's Credit Union kickoff. Remember, First People's Federal Credit Union, the official kickoff sponsor of Golden Tornado football. Kick is back deep to about the 15-yard line. A little bit of trickery on the kickoff. Kaiser was not fooled. Tried to go with the reverse on the kickoff.
The ball. Tackle by
Kaiser was
Brady.
waiting for it.
Yeah, Kaiser really didn't bite at all on that, and I think it's because when the Cougar player went to do the reverse, he didn't hide it very well. It was very obvious he was going to do that, but yeah, Kaiser stayed
Didn't
in
quite
their
sell
lanes.
it.
Yeah. You got to sell that a little bit more.
Now Roberts back in shotgun. Four receivers out wide. Tries to throw a quick throw out to the
Daniel
slot.
Roberts' pass is incomplete.
Intended for
Ball was intended for Keyshawn Robinson.
Keyshawn Robinson.
Second and 10.
He wasn't looking. That was a timing play, and the timing was just a little bit off between the quarterback and the receiver there.
it was supposed to be like a quick out, 2-3 yard quick out play, and like you said, mistimed a little bit. Ball falls incomplete. Will now be 2nd and 10. This time, ball thrown once again to
Taylor
Robinson,
Roberts
and
pass
it was
instead of
dropped.
Keyshawn
Double
Robinson.
screen.
Incomplete. 3rd and
Robinson's
10.
going to wish he could have that one back because he had a little bit of room to run there. Tell you, Kaiser's running a 3-man front. However, they did blitz Gavin Root on that one, so they're still coming only with 4 guys, but they're getting enough penetration that I think Jefferson feels they've got to throw a little bit quicker, and it's rushing. They're just rushing the passes and not catching them.
We got Anthony Mealy out here helping in coverage as well.
Taylor Roberts pass complete to Spencer Powell. Seth Healy
with the tackle. Looks like it'll be good enough.
Going to be close to the line of
Just
game.
enough for the first down.
Spencer Powell definitely has a height advantage over Seth Healy, so that. But Seth's
First down,
been
Jefferson.
on him like glue. Just that height differential is a little bit noticeable.
Spencer Powell with about a 5-inch height advantage on Seth Healy out there. Roberts will roll out. And pressure from Gabe Ryan came in there, and he had to throw it off the back foot and was
2nd and 10.
could have been a little bit closer inbounds there. It might have been picked off by Zion Powell on the play.
Yeah, and I tell you, for running a three-man rush and occasionally bringing a fourth, sort of bringing in different linebackers to provide a fourth person on the rush, they're getting some pressure on the quarterback.
Handoff up the middle to number 3, Evan Toole. Will gain a couple on the play.
So I think they're recognizing the fact that it's a limited front out there for Kaiser. Trying to run up the middle there. They did get a few yards.
Gain of 5 on the play.
I don't
3rd
think they
and
can
5.
sustain their offense like that. That's not the type of offense they run there.
And timeout called.
Official is Gabe Ryan might be having a uniform issue or something.
Parker Anderson will be replacing Gabe Ryan out on the field at that defensive line position. And quick throw out to Keyshawn.
Excellent defense by Zion Powell.
Roberts pass.
Keyshawn Robertson makes the catch on that one.
Keyshawn Robinson.
The defender was waiting. Zion Powell made the great open field tackle. Looking at about a 4th and 2 now.
Jefferson almost has to punt here just because they know that Kaiser can move the ball on them, so they wanted to give them a longer field, and they're not quite far enough. Well, maybe they're not. Thought they were bringing the kicker over. They're going to try and draw them off.
Roberts trying to bring the Kaiser defense off sides. Handoff up the middle to Toole, and he makes a man miss. He bounces off of another, and he is finally thrown down by Zion Powell. Toole took the 4th and 2 carry, gained around 20, 25 yards on it. A couple arm tackles by Kaiser defenders. He ran right through them.
Yeah, and I think Kaiser might have been lulled into thinking the same thing that I was thinking, that they were just going to try and draw him off and then take a timeout or something. But
handoff once again to Toole. This time only gains about 3.
Jefferson has switched things up a little bit, trying to keep the game between the tackles here and see what they can do.
The brick and mortar of this Kaiser defense is this front 7 of theirs trying to get pressure on this quarterback and stopping the run game. So let's see what they can do here as they start marching into Kaiser territory. Toole gasses right up the gut.
And it looks like, I couldn't tell if it was 45 Nathaniel Mule bringing him in, and instead of spreading it out, having him almost like a wing back there to add a little bit of extra blocking in front of the run.
Playing almost like an H-back tight end / fullback position is Mule. Handoff again once up the middle to Toole. Gains about 3 on the play. Speaking of brick and mortar, if you're interested in selling or buying some brick and mortar, Coldwell Bank and Hometown Realty is our official sponsor of tonight's matchup here in the first quarter. Roberts brings a man in motion. Will roll out to his right side. And he had Mule across the middle, bounces off his hands and falls incomplete. Coldwell Bank and Hometown Realty,
Might be a motion.
official sponsor of tonight's matchup here in the first quarter.
An illegal shift against the Cougars. Two guys trying to take off
Roberts
at the same time, and that can't happen.
Will roll out to his right side, maybe in the arena leagues.
Yeah.
And he had Mule across the middle, bounces off his hands and falls incomplete. Now Coldwell Bank on 13.
Might be a motion.
Jefferson, official sponsor of tonight's matchup here in the first quarter. Samuel Roberts will be back in shotgun, four
Illegal
receivers
shift
out wide.
against the Cougars.
Quick throw out.
Two guys trying to take off at the same time, and that can't happen. That's
Complete to the
that.
Spencer Powell.
Yeah, that's that
Right
athleticism
side.
we're talking about. With the,
Maybe in the arena leagues.
Yeah.
And he had Mule across the middle,
the
bounces
receiver
off
being
his
able to
hands,
jump
falls
as a
incomplete.
receiver. Got
Now
it.
Coldwell Bank on
Might
13.
be a motion.
Jefferson
Pocket.
waving off tonight's matchup here in the first quarter. So after the catch and the double coverage by Powell will now be manageable. About a 3rd and 5.
15-yard line. Be 3rd down and 4.
Roberts back, 3 receivers to his left, 1 to his right. And the ball will go through the hands of John Gidney and go incomplete.
There's been several. Roberts has some zip on the ball when he's throwing those shots like that, and a couple of them have gone through the receiver's hands. And it's only a matter of time before it goes through their hands and there's a pick-off or something where someone's at the right place at the right time.
We got about 215 people watching us on YouTube right now.
Sweet.
Thank you, everyone who's watching tonight's broadcast. Now, 4th down. Roberts will drop back, try to throw the quick out. And looks like it will be caught. John Gidney.
You weren't kidding when you said they had some athletic receivers on this team. That's the second kind of, I don't want to say circus catch, but the second really, really good catch.
Good diving grab on the play to get the first down on the 4th conversion. Now they're back here in this goal to go situation. See if they try to go for that post fade again.
Got an extra back. They're going to run it. Yep.
And they try to take Toole up the middle. And there's a lot of pushing going still.
Yeah, Toole takes it straight up into the scrum.
A bit of a rugby scrum out there, and it moved forward and then kind of hesitated and moved forward a little bit.
Just
more.
lock shoulders and keep the legs
That's
driving
right.
type situation. Looking at about a 2nd and 2 from the goal line. And at the end of the first quarter, your Kaiser and Golden Tornado are up 14-6 against the Jefferson Cougars. While we got a moment here as we flip the field, let's take a word from one of our sponsors.
Buying an automobile isn't supposed to be hard. Hi, I'm Fred Timbrook Jr., and at Timbrook Automotive, we make car buying easy. When you buy from us, you can expect your experience to be transparent and stress-free. For your convenience, we have locations in Cumberland, Oakland, and Kaiser, which means you can get the finest cars at the lowest prices close to home. Visit us today at any of our locations to experience the Timbrook difference, or shop online at timbrook.com.
Big thank you to the Timbrook Automotive Group for being a sponsor of all of our games this season. So as we get ready to roll here into the beginning of the second quarter, Kaiser's up 14-6 against the Cougars. Cougars in scoring position here. Ball on about the 2-yard line.
I look for them to come out and try to push this one in again, because they've been getting about 2 or 3 yards anytime they've tried that, even when they didn't get much.
Yeah, it's funny because even whenever they're in goal-to-go situations, they're still running like a shotgun set with 4 or 5 guys wide, still trying to spread the field even in tight situations. Going to hand up the middle to Toole, and looks like he has enough for the score. Touchdown, Evan Toole.
Running right behind Nathaniel Mule there. They're bringing him, like you were saying, bringing him over in like an H-back, almost, lining him up behind the tackle and guard, and then letting him go through that gap and clear out a path for the running back to come in behind him.
Jefferson once again electing to go for the 2-point conversion. Try to tie this thing up. And it is completed. Man in his face. Isaiah Fritz still completes the catch. So with that, Jefferson ties it up at 14 here in Tornado Alley.
Yeah, and Kaiser just coming off of a shootout last week, and they probably weren't really wanting to be in another shootout, though they probably knew that it would be a similar type of a game. But if they're in a shootout here with Jefferson, they've got to be sure that they don't, they keep capitalizing on the mistakes that Jefferson makes and moving forward with that and not making too many mistakes themselves so that they can stay one step ahead.
So just a straight halfback dive right there up the gut off the left side A-gap. Toole able to squeak his way through and get into the end zone. Now Jefferson coming up the lineup for the kick. Reminder that all of our kickoffs are sponsored by First People's Community Federal Credit Union. Now lining up for the kick for Jefferson is number 15, Carter Schroyer.
New kicker.
Schroyer kicks this one a little bit deeper downfield, recovered by Dre Allen. He has a little bit of space. Dre Allen's taking off downfield. He's getting chased down. He tries to cut, and he keeps dragging the defender, and he is finally brought down at about the 11-yard line.
Yeah, he turned on the Jets, and all 3 of those Jefferson defenders were just running step for step with him, but not gaining.
I don't know if the people at home were able to hear it, but Mr. Vic Clay, who's our stat man up here, the second he seen Dre grab that ball, Mr. Vic seen a hole, and he just goes, uh-oh.
Yeah, yeah, you can see that it just parted, and Dre took advantage of that and turned on the speed.
Pitch out to Sammy Bradfield. He has a little bit of lane, tries to bounce it out wide, and the corner grabs a hold of him, is able to bring him down.
He's gonna watch film on that and be like, I should have cut inside, because I think he would have gotten, if nothing else, about 5 more yards there.
So the quick pitch out there to Sammy Bradfield gains about 4. Hand off to Zion Powell on the jet sweep, and he is brought down in the backfield. Nathaniel Mule.
You're not usually going to get caught by someone who's 6'3", 246 pounds when you're fast as Zion, but Mule had a great read right through the line there, and the angle was perfect.
Root going to roll out to his right side, throws it to the end zone, and it will go incomplete. Intended for Sammy Bradfield.
Yeah, again, it's an incomplete pass, and it's a 4th and long, and brings up a kicking situation, but still the play was there. Bradfield was open. It was just a little bit off on the throw. They're beating the coverage, and they just need to be a little bit more strict with the throwing and the aim, so to speak.
So it looks like Seth Ernest is going to be lining up for the kick here.
Oh!
And it knuckleballs off the pole. Didn't have a smooth glide to it at all. Kind of knuckleballed down.
Yeah.
Looked like it possibly might have been tipped a little bit.
Yeah,
But
the height and the distance was fine, but yeah, you can't hit that pole if you aim at it. But if sure enough, you're going to hit it whenever you don't want to.
as Roberts will now set up here at the 20-yard line after the missed field goal by Kaiser. Jefferson will take over. Roberts drops back.
Oh, good play.
Tries to throw the swing pass out, and it is tipped down by Dre Allen.
That was a good play by Dre. He's watching the quarterback. He's riding the blocking out a little bit there, and just got his hand up when he saw the quarterback rear back to throw. I also want to remind everybody that our second quarter here is brought to you by the Kaiser Fox's Pizza Den. Go get yourself some pizza, order up some pizza, watch this online, and
use code Kaiser Football Online to save 10% on your order tonight. What do you think it would take for us to get a drone to bring us some pizza up here?
It would take a drone. We don't have the drone
now. Our producer Ryan just told us that we're going to make it happen, so we'll be waiting to see a drone bringing us up a nice pepperoni and mushroom pizza here later this evening. Roberts rolls out, and the pass is completed.
Ooh. Kind of looked like he was juggling a little bit, but I didn't see him when he went to the ground there.
Yeah, it looked really close. I couldn't quite see because of the players on the sideline where his feet were, but referee calls it a completed catch.
Having a discussion out here right now. I didn't see a flag. This is about where you would enter the Jeopardy theme over here while they were talking on the field. Looks like it's against Jefferson. They're pointing at Jefferson when they're talking to each other, but I don't see what they're signaling. Possibly a hold. I don't even see the flag.
Jefferson's head coach, Craig Hunter, over there pointing towards the field, trying to figure out what's going on himself.
They called it an illegal block against Kaiser. Looks like Coach Stephen wants an explanation there, and the ref came over and just did a blocking motion and said he blocked him in the way he wasn't supposed to block him.
Handoff up the middle of the tool. Breaks out a one-arm tackle. Doesn't break out of that one, though. Zion Powell with the good open field stick.
Yeah, Tools, he's kind of slippery there, but Zion came in and, like I said, that's textbook. Get right for the lower legs and wrap him up and don't let him slip away.
Roberts back up. The three receivers out to his left, one to his right. Try to throw a quick little bubble screen out. And it looked like the receiver maybe fell on top of the Kaiser defenders and was able to get back up and try to keep going. That was John Gidney.
They're doing a really good job of doing, it's not really called a pick because technically a pick is illegal, but they're doing a good job of engaging the Kaiser cornerbacks and coverage out there and sort of creating a...
It's what they call it's called a rub route.
Right.
You're essentially running an interior breaking route, but you're rubbing against the defender and able to simulate the block essentially. And Toole bounced it off some Kaiser tacklers. He's breaking out wide. He's at the 30-yard line, and he will be finally dragged out of bounds by Benny Oates.
Down to the Kaiser 20-yard line. Run out of bounds for Benny Oates.
They got a 35-yard, 36-yard run there, which originally looked like it might have only been a 1 or 2 yard run, and then some Kaiser guys were there to make some plays, but Zion Powell looked like he kind of ran into his own man and took him right off the play there as well.
Yeah, Toole's not a big back, listed at 5'8", 175, but you cannot arm tackle him. He's just shaking off the defenders.
He's running like 225. He's a
Bounce wrong.
guy.
Zion Powell, he just kind of shucked off and kept chugging downfield. Luckily, Benny Oates was able to save the tackle there.
And look, there's I'm going to mention it every time I see it.
Gabe Ryan downfield.
Gabe Ryan downfield. The big sophomore lineman is not trailing the play. He was in front of that play to sweep up if the runner kept going.
Well, Benny Oates saved the tackle there. But, I mean, if you're interested in being saved, First Baptist Church of Burlington offers services at 9 a.m. every Sunday. Pastor Tom Coldwell. You can watch on Facebook or you can listen live at 107.1 FM.
Let's see what we got going on. A timeout out here.
Coaching staff looking like they're trying to light a fire underneath the defense a little bit, letting so many arm tackles go by and letting them gain yardage off of what should be, sure wrap-ups.
Right. And I was getting ready to say before that play how I was impressed with the tackling, and everybody just kind of let him slip through. So the coaches didn't like that either.
Man in motion. Roberts will roll out to his left side, throw cross body, and it will bounce off the hands of Mule.
I'm telling you, we're gonna see. I mean, it's not that big of a prediction when they're throwing the ball this much, I guess, but you're gonna see an interception come off of something like that, where the defenders are in the right position at the right time, and the ball slips through somebody's hands because he's really zipping that ball in there.
Whenever they played Frankfurt a couple weeks back, that was the main thing that killed them against Frankfurt was the turnovers and the mistakes. So far tonight, they've been able to keep clean from that, but as you said, all it takes is one of them tip passes to kind of go awry. Handoff up the middle to number 6, Christian Blow.
Christian Blow on the carry. Chase Evans on the stop.
Chase Evans makes the tackle on the play. Gain of about 2.
Gain of 3, second and third and 7.
A little bit different look there with the running back running a little bit harder. Not quite as slippery, though, as Toole.
Roberts takes a snap, rolls out to his right. Throws that quick little comeback route to number 23, Spencer Powell. They will get the ball now at the 7-yard line.
Powell's having a fantastic night receiving out there and trying to take advantage of whatever mismatch he can come up with out there against whoever's defending
Those
him.
comeback routes are very hard to guard against.
They really are.
Hand off the Toole up the middle. Will be wrapped up and dragged down by a bunch of Kaiser defenders. Gains maybe 1 on the play.
Tackled by Caden Youngblood.
Yeah, Caden Youngblood made the initial contact on there and did a good job of hanging on and waiting for just a little bit extra help to push him down, but Caden was not going to let him get away from him.
Ball around the 6-yard line. Roberts remaining in the shotgun set with 5 receivers out wide. Drop back. He's going to throw the slant, and it looks like it is caught. Touchdown on the play.
Number 7, Casey Lanza for the Jefferson touchdown.
Casey Lanza runs a slant route, catches it right inside the hip to give Jefferson the touchdown.
Yeah, Kaiser just playing a little bit too far off on that play, but when the slant comes in, you've got the linebacker already engaged in the middle, and he's not able to provide that extra coverage.
Robert throwing the pass to the back of the end zone.
Wow.
And they are calling that completed.
It's ruled complete to number 3.
That's the second time. Is that Powell? Yeah, that's Powell.
No, that was Anthony Mealy back there in coverage.
Where it was Spencer Powell with the reception.
Yes.
Same as at the other end. Same corner, just on opposite ends of the field. And that is a very well-designed play. They must practice that one 20 times each time they have practice.
Yeah, they had the outside receiver kind of go on a slant, and then the slot man just ran a wheel route. That was a touchdown
That's the
catch
touchdown
there.
slant there, yeah. Again, coverage is right on him, but when you're running a slant and you're just a little bit behind the guy,
It's hard to get that,
you
that
can't do
hand
anything.
inside.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, gorgeous pass and completion there on that 2-point conversion, putting Jefferson up 22-14 with 7:57 left here in the second quarter. Yeah, here they run the outside receiver on a little in route and back corner, and it looks like maybe that foot was just coming off the ground when he caught it.
Yeah.
That's one of them ones where if high school had instant replay on field
Yeah.
to change the calls, you'd want to maybe challenge that one just to be sure. But
The athleticism in there is just.
and the ball will roll. Quick little squib kick. Looked like it was going to be lost by Kaiser, but they luckily fell on top of it, managed to get a hold.
Anthony Mealy got his hand sort of out there underneath the pile and scooped it back in, and that was a dangerous kickoff there. That was the First People's Community Federal Credit Union kickoff. Was not quite onside, but still equally dangerous.
Gavin Root back in shotgun. Brings Powell in motion. Root will keep it. And he'll be wrapped up after a gain of about 2 on the play.
He just experienced what it feels like to have 350 pounds fall on him.
Kaiser trying to get back to the line. Root with 3 receivers out to his left side. Quick screen out to Powell. Powell lowers the shoulder and tries to gain a couple more. He's about 6 on the play.
Decided to go to the short side with the screen there, and it worked out. Even there's a lot of personnel out over there, Kaiser did a good job of downfield blocking. Let Zion get about 9 yards on there.
3rd and 1. Quick screen out to Powell again. Tries to run almost like a jailbreak screen, try to bring that thing back up inside, but he managed to get enough for the first down.
Official timeout of the helmet. Helmet came off.
And it will be good enough for the Tornado first down.
There's a good shake off there by
And Zion Powell gets a little shake on a man and gets up towards the first down.
This is one of those situations where you got plenty of time left in this quarter to take some time off the clock and get down there and score. But it's early in the game, but Kaiser's in what I would consider a must-score situation here on this down because they don't want to get 2 touchdowns or off.
In a very delayed handoff, they faked the jet there to Powell and was kind of slow trying to get it back to Dre Allen. By the time they got it to him, the defensive line was waiting for him.
Yeah, like I was saying, Kaiser doesn't want to get off cycle with trying to stay step for step because it's going to be hard to win that shootout when you go down by 2 or off cycle scores.
Kaiser under center is Gavin Root. Double handoff. Zion Powell will break it up inside and get enough for the first down on the play. Local scores from around the state. Number 2, Oak Glen is up against Weir 20-0 in the second quarter. Frankfort is leading against Petersburg 28-6. Liberty Raleigh is leading Scott 6-0. North Marion is leading Lewis County.
Oh,
and it is completed.
We've seen that play before, haven't we?
Touchdown, Sammy Bradfield.
40 yards.
I'm telling you, they make a bite on that play action, and he just takes his time and just lost it out there on that deep crossing pattern to Sammy Bradfield.
Yeah, it's like we were saying, Kaiser's going to go ahead and at least line up to kick the ball here. But they need to stay step for step. If Jefferson scores, they need to score in return and not go off cycle in a shootout.
Kaiser electing to go for the extra point here instead of the 2-point conversion to tie it up.
The thing to keep in mind too, which that you don't necessarily need to go for the tie now, because if you can keep that game close, at least in the way I look at it, Kaiser's got the advantage with being able to get a field goal as well if they need to win with.
So here's a replay. They fake that jet motion. Pressure comes. Powell kind of jump passes it off the back foot and still manages to get it to a wide open Sammy Bradfield, who just walks it in.
Right.
So while we got a moment here as we get ready to line up for the next ensuing kickoff, let's take a word from one of our sponsors. And Seth Ernest lines up for the kickoff here. Recovered on play by Christian Blow. Tries to bounce it back. He has a little bit of space. And he is brought down by his shoelaces. It's like that was Sammy Bradfield, who got a hold of them Nikes on his way down the field.
I want to remind you that the second quarter here is sponsored by Kaiser Fox's Pizza Den. From their den to yours, get yourself some food and watch the rest of this game.
Use code Kaiser Football online to save 10% tonight. Tool with the carry brought down by Gabe Ryan. Excuse me, that was Jake Bonner and Chase Evans on the tackle there. Roberts back in shotgun after the good kickoff return. He got to start this drive off in Kaiser territory. Roberts rolls out to his right. Pass will be completed. I tell you, they've been running that route a lot, that quick little comeback about 7-8 yards deep and turning around and heading towards the sideline. It's one of them passing plays that it's really hard to guard, especially as a corner. Because you're constantly trying to watch out for the deep pass. So whenever they make that quick cut back to the sideline, and if you have a quarterback who can place it where it needs to be, like Roberts has tonight, it's very hard to defend. Tool brought down with carry, flags down the field.
Flag in that area is usually a holding call against the offense. Yeah, it looks like that's what the ref wants. But you're right. I mean, the defense has been stuck on Spencer Powell pretty well.
He's been making great catches.
He's making great catches. I mean, if the ball is near him, he is pulling that in for a catch. We talked about his size advantage height-wise, but it's not just his height. It's the fact that he's got good hands and good eyes to watch the ball. And he's got those long strides. He's a tall guy, and he takes those long strides and then takes that quick stop and comes back. It takes you a second before you can recover and get back.
I mean, 6'3", 190 is nothing to scoff at, especially at a high school level. I mean, there's NFL receivers who aren't that size,
right.
So he's got plenty of size. He's got great hands. Quick throw out to number 8, Isaiah Fritz. Manages to shake and bake his way for a good gain. Brought down around the 30.
Seth Healy came in and made the tackle there and got him from the back, and it looked like he was going to take him down there, and looks like Robinson got an extra step on him, just even with him hanging on his back.
Roberts one running back to his left side, 3 receivers right. He's going to drop straight back. He's going to throw a deep ball. It is a jump ball up in the air, and it is brought in Spencer Powell, he was in one-on-one coverage with Seth Healy, and it was just a rebound at that point.
Yeah.
Jumped up and snagged it.
That's unfortunately, the epitome of what we had talked about before with, just his athleticism, the size differential. Seth Healy's right there. He's right there to make the play, but when you're 6'3" and you put your arms up in the air, you're about what 7'1", 7'1", so.
Hand off the Tool. He breaks out of the arm tackle, and no call yet. Looks like he still is short.
Jake Bonner did a good job of cleaning that up and not letting him in. I thought he was going to break away, and then Bonner pushed him back.
Second down here around the 2-yard line. Big Nathaniel Mule getting in there at that H-back spot, coming in motion. Handoff is going to be to Evan Toole, and it will be good enough for the score. Ran right behind the Mule.
Yeah, they've been very successful with that when they brought him in there as an extra blocking back. And they run behind him, and it's hard to get past that many players coming through the line and get the guy with the ball.
Roberts drops back, throws out to a wide open receiver, the number 16, Keyshawn Robinson, for the good two-point conversion.
2:37 remaining in the half. The score is
Jefferson now officially taking a 2-score lead with the converted two-point conversions that they've had tonight, putting them up 30-21 here with 2:37 left in the second quarter.
Again, that's what we were talking about is, Kaiser, Jefferson is very possibly going to score, so Kaiser needs to understand they've got to come back and
brought that motion man, and like we said, ran those little rub routes to free up that guy going in underneath on the motion, was able to convert. So here as we start rolling down here, going towards the end of the second quarter, Jefferson maintaining a lead. Kaiser's been able to keep up with them, scoring back and forth between both these teams, but the converted two-point conversions that Jefferson's got has helped stretch them out just a little bit further to make it a two-score game for this Kaiser offense to try to rally from now. As we get ready to line up for our First People's Federal Credit Union kickoff. Back deep for Kaiser is Powell and Van Pelt. They will try to squib it down the middle of the field, and Anthony Mealy will just fall down on top of it. Smart play. Kaiser will take over at about the 35-yard line.
And Jefferson, they're obviously trying to get a little fumble-rooski out of kicking those kicks like that, but the downside for them, the upside for Kaiser, is it gives Kaiser decent field position. They're not starting too deep.
Root will be under center. Handoff up the middle to Dre Allen. Doesn't want to go down, but they had him wrapped up from the jump. Gains maybe one on the play.
Drake Sims on the tackle there, 6'1", 350-pound junior, and not too many players out there in the field are going to hold Dre Allen back when he's running. He was someone that was able to hold Dre Allen back while he was trying to run.
Three receivers out wide to the left side. Quick screen to Sammy Bradfield. Bradfield tries to get up to the sideline, and he is brought down out of bounds.
Nice stiff arm.
Gain of about 8 will make it 3rd and short for the Kaiser offense.
Given out of bounds by Nicholas Smith.
It's back to business as usual for the Kaiser offense. They just need to keep doing what they've been doing and get down the field in 2 minutes to get about 55 yards.
The linebacker, Nicholas Smith, makes a tackle on that play. Gavin Root's going to keep it. And Root will get enough for the first down. People in the crowd not very happy with them driving that tackle back even after the whistle was blown.
Right. Some of a continuation. Gabe Ryan comes limping off, and
Gabe Ryan going to the sideline looking a little hurt.
favoring a lower leg. Couldn't tell exactly which leg.
Will roll out to his right side, throw to Zion Powell across, and it will be good enough for the first down. Flag down on the play. Looks like it might be maybe a blocking foul there.
Any other thing it might be would be a face mask. I couldn't really tell, but.
See here what the call is by our fine gentleman in the black and white stripes.
You're right, it's a block in the back, and I do think that
very unnecessary. I mean, he was already being brought down anyway.
Yeah.
Kaiser shooting himself in the foot there.
After the penalty, it'll be 1st and 11 from the 49.
Fortunately, it's a spot foul, so it's still.
Gavin Root rolls out, throws across to Seth Healy, and it is tipped up in the air and falls incomplete.
Not a bad pass there and play. Just defender just had a little bit longer reach and was able to get in there and knock it away from Seth Healy before he could pull it in. They were playing a little handsy running down the field there, but.
Gavin Root back in shotgun, brings Powell in motion. Will fake the handoff to Powell. And Sammy Bradfield's open once again. It's the same exact play they ran earlier. They scored on it twice, and he'll score for a third time.
51 yards from Root to Bradfield. You know, like we've said it before, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. If it's working for you, do it. I'm impressed with the fact that Kaiser runs that play so well that they can keep running it exactly the same way. And Jefferson's really made no adjustments to any key that might be keying that play off. They've made no adjustment to that. And
well, see, the way it works out a lot of the times is, you know, whenever you run that jet sweep play, that slot receiver is always going for either a linebacker or safety, you know, whoever really comes first on who he has to go block.
Right.
So you run that so many times, and the defenders get used to seeing the guys running. They think it's the run play, so then all of a sudden he just tucks that ball back, fakes that handoff, and then you got Sammy Bradfield running free.
Right.
And, I mean, it's not happened not once, not twice, but 3 times.
Absolutely.
Now tonight.
Absolutely.
So here it is again.
It's like, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice,
Shame on me.
shame on me. Fool me again, and, you know.
I'm in real trouble.
I don't know.
Looks like Gabe Ryan might be okay. You know, he's walk around a little bit after the training staff was looking at his injury and his little ailment he has going on. If you have any injuries or ailments, one of our sponsors that we actually have is Health Matters Urgent Care. If you have any injuries or ailments, contact Health Matters Urgent Care to set up an appointment and get yourself looked at if you have anything going on, whether it be an injury or an illness.
I was actually there today, and the process is pretty nice. You drive up, you give them a call, and they take your information over the phone, and then you wait in the car until they pull you in to be seen, and pretty good process out there. So, yes.
Or we'll call it the Health Matters Urgent Care Injury Report.
There you go.
Seth Ernest lines up for our kickoff. Quick squib down the field. Recovered on the play. He is hit by Parker Anderson, but he bounces right off. He bounces off another one is Roger Forshee. He's going down the sideline. And for the brand, Seth Ernest makes the tackle.
I have a feeling that there is going to be tackling practice on Monday.
A lot of it.
A lot of tackling practice. I lost count. You know, of course, Forshee is running hard and spinning and everything, but, you know, I want to say 6 Kaiser guys had him that they should have wrapped him up.
Parker Anderson popped him really good, but, I mean, it's one thing to make contact with the shoulders. You got to wrap those arms up, too.
That's right.
So Forshee's return there. Gives him great field position. Low snap recovered by the quarterback, and it will be picked off.
That's what they needed. It'd be nice to have a little more than 59 seconds left in the half, but that's absolutely what they needed to stop the...
Sammy Bradfield trying to make a pull for player of the half. He's got 3 receiving touchdowns and now an interception.
First and 10 from retain with 59.1 seconds remaining in the half.
Yeah, Samuel Roberts' snap was low, and I guess it kind of flustered him a little bit. He tried to roll out and throw it on the run. Didn't see the Kaiser defender there waiting. It was Sammy Bradfield getting the pick. Quick screen out to Zion Powell, who has nowhere to go.
Yeah, that one was read by the defense. They
Powell wrapped up for a loss of about 3 or 4 on the play.
got a timeout on the field.
Going to have a timeout called.
Yeah, and it's you know, we had talked about it before that when you want to make sure that you don't get off cycle and lose your place in the shootout, and that's exactly what Kaiser needed to do because Jefferson does come out in the second half with the ball first.
We got Brent Williamson here commenting from Facebook, watching from Nashville, Tennessee, with old 21 Tyler Flea Hartman. I love seeing people comment that they're watching from all across the U.S. It's awesome that our little community stream and everything brought on by Allegheny Media and by Kaiser High School can reach out to so many people who wants to watch some Golden Tornado and Jefferson Cougar football.
So yeah, so what do you think as Kaiser come out and maybe do a couple pass plays and nothing too risky, nothing you don't want to give Jefferson the opportunity to pick the ball off or run it back or anything like that.
Well, I think if you're Kaiser, you're probably going to try to run that fake jet crossing route at least one more time before the end of the half.
Looks like somebody jumped. Left tackle.
False start on Kaiser. They're really getting themselves backed up here in some dangerous position as the offense is pretty much being set up on their own end zone.
Yeah, I think they might just go into a tight formation here and try to run forward and run some clock out. Or
hand off to Dre Allen, bounces it outside, gains a couple, tries to do a little shuffle step, still shaking off defenders, gets pushed out of bounds, gets the flag, and he will gain a couple more.
Add 15 to the total on that one. And like I said, it looked like it was just going to be let's just run up the middle and try to get some yards here. And Dre said, no, we're not done scoring yet. Let me see what I can do here and move us a little closer to the goal line. They still have some yardage to go, but they should be pretty close to midfield.
So they were backed up on their goal line.
Dre did a good job of staying towards the sideline as well and making sure that he fell down out of bounds. Here it is.
Completed Zion Powell. He breaks off the tackle, and he is brought down around the 41-yard line.
The clock does stop on the first down in high school once they get the ball set, but Kaiser does have 2 timeouts, so they use 1 here.
Kaiser in good field position here as they're on the Jefferson side of the field with 30 seconds left.
At the very least, Kaiser would love to get down close enough to even put 3 points on the board to go back into sort of take away that extra advantage that Jefferson has by going for 2 each time.
Yeah, they were backed up on their own goal line, and we thought they were just going to try to do a little punch to try to open up a little bit of space there from being in their own end zone. And Dre Allen was able to find a hole, bounce it out wide, and, of course, get pushed late out of bounds and get the extra 15 yards. And then that nice little throw and catch there from Gavin Root to Zion Powell, the broken tackle, got him in good territory with 30 seconds left here in the first half. We have Montre Smith saying a shout out to his son Julian. Montre's one of our coaches on the youth level. His boys play. Son Julian plays on our flag team.
But yeah, we know Kaiser can score from anywhere around midfield. I mean, they can score from anywhere on the field, but especially tonight, as we've seen, between the 40s, they've got 3 passing touchdowns from between the 40s. So we know they can score quick from anywhere around midfield, and that's where they're at on the Jefferson 41.
Gavin Root coming out under center in a base wing tee set. Quick pitch out to Sammy Bradfield. And he will be wrapped up after a quick gain. Flags down on the play.
Again, probably a hold there, which is not what Kaiser wanted to see.
Now as they kind of get themselves backed up a little bit, the clock is going to be working against them.
Holding against the Golden Tornado.
Will be labeled as a hold against the Golden Tornado offense.
I think they just wanted to back it up and give Sammy Bradfield a little bit more room to run there and try the jet sweep fake here. I have a feeling Jefferson's looking for that at this moment.
They got Spencer Powell back at safety. And it looks like they're going to throw the deep ball to Emmerich, and it is just out of his fingertips.
That was a really good pass, and yeah, just a little bit too long, but a pretty looking pass.
Those deep fades are one of those things where it's better to slightly overthrow the guy going out of bounds than it is to underthrow it and risk a pick.
Right.
So at least if it's going to fall incomplete, it's better for it to fall being too far out of his fingertips.
Yeah, Powell comes in motion here.
Hand it off back inside. Sammy Bradfield's breaking it downfield. He breaks the ankles of the defender, and he is brought down.
Like we were talking about, 4 seconds left, 1 timeout. Might want to get up there and spike the ball and save it, or are they going to try and... They did take their timeout.
Cows are going to call the timeout. So a long, delayed handoff there.
Yeah, that was... Sammy Bradfield's having a career night tonight. I mean, he's doing a little bit of everything. He's getting open, and he's breaking ankles and making interceptions, and I mean, heck, they might let him go out here and throw a touchdown or something.
Let's look at the replay of this. He fakes the handoff, and he kind of rides it like he's going to throw it, and he does that inside handoff back to Sammy Bradfield, and Sammy Bradfield turns on the jets, breaks the ankle of Spencer Powell, and is finally brought down by a couple Jefferson defenders. Looks like that's Evan Toole, who was the first one to make contact on the play. So now you got Kaiser with 4.3 seconds on the clock. You don't have any more timeouts. So what do you think they're going to do? You think they're going to try and go for a score here, or you think they're just going to try and sit out the field goal unit?
4 seconds is not a lot of time. I think they were just going to take a quick shot to the end zone. They really have one shot to do it. If it falls incomplete with a half a second left, at least they can come out and set up for a field goal. But it's got to be boom, boom. And it's not going to be boom, boom on a run like that.
And Gavin just tries to tuck it, and it won't be able to get anywhere with it. So the half wind, I was really expecting him to just chuck it up even.
Yeah, I thought he would try to get rid of it a little bit quicker, but when he went to the rollout, that's going to take too much time to do quick.
Scores from around the state. Frankfurt's up 28-6 against Petersburg at the half. Berkeley Springs and Hampshire are tied at 20 in the second quarter. And Moorfield and East Hardy are tied at 0 in the first quarter. So before we go into halftime here, we're actually going to do an instant replay of some of the scoring plays from the first half of this game.
Cool.
Here we got that first fade pass.
Yeah, just a really well executed play. And Spencer Powell has been, he's been shining on the Jefferson side of the ball as well, just dragging his foot in there, and referees had to make sure that they both saw the same thing. And here's a look at that fake sweep play to Sammy Bradfield, who he's been showing some really good moves tonight. You know, I forgot about how well he did in that play to shake off the defenders. And Kaiser was able to come right back and go up with the run by Root. That's when they went up 14-6, and then of course Jefferson came back with the dive by Toole, and they got the 2-point conversion, tied it up at 14, and then we flip-flopped again, and Jefferson took the lead.
Now we got that slant pattern.
So they went up 22-14.
And I believe we've seen this one before already.
Right.
It almost, I mean, honestly, it almost looks like the same exact play, just
it really
replay.
does, just the other direction.
Because, I mean, it's been executed so perfectly every single time. And here it is one more time.
And Root's throwing off his back foot when he does that.
So Sammy Bradfield making the best out of his first half today.
Absolutely.
So as we get ready to roll here into halftime, we'll be back with about 5 minutes left in the half, and we'll have some first half statistics for you. So while we go into our halftime break, we'll look at some words from our sponsors and enjoy the performance from our band.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the Cougars High School Band in Wonderland.
All right, we welcome everybody back as we go through our kind of first half here. Some statistics that we got off of our man Vic Clay up here in the booth.
I'm going to make a prediction that the passing yards are going to be surprising for some of our listeners when they hear that.
Dre Allen has 6 carries for 51 yards. Zion Powell has 7 carries for 48, but he also had that fumble early. Gavin Root, 7 carries for 38 yards. Sammy Bradfield with 4 carries for 39. And Hunter Van Pelt with 3 carries for 16. The big one is passing the ball. Kaiser is 9 for 11 for 187 yards and 3 touchdowns.
Wow.
In the first half.
Yeah, that's not normally a stat you hear from a team that focuses on the run first, but especially just the passes that he has been throwing, and the receiving has just been fantastic tonight.
And if everybody would like to take a guess on who the receiving leader is,
right.
Zion Powell has 5 catches for 28 yards, and then Samuel Bradfield has 4 catches for 159 yards, and all 3 of those touchdown scores.
Right. Yeah. He, and they've been running the route to him off of the fake jet sweep and having him break free. He has been literally, all by himself on all 3 of those catches, and it's such a nice route that has worked really well for them tonight. And Gavin's been throwing a fantastic ball as well.
So as we roll down here with 2 minutes left in the half, both teams start making their way back out to the field for second half stretching.
And now Jefferson will come out, and they won the toss and deferred to the second half, so they will be getting the second half kickoff first. And we have to really point out that the Cougars were threatening to score late in the first half, and it was an excellent pick that was a huge saving. A huge save for Kaiser, because if they would have gone down right before the half, then Jefferson would have come back out and had the ball again.
So now as we got about 2-point game as Jefferson will get the first possession here in the second half. While we got a short little time period here, let's take a moment for a word from one of our sponsors before we go into this second half kickoff.
Buying an automobile isn't supposed to be hard. Hi, I'm Fred Timbrook Jr., and at Timbrook Automotive, we make car buying easy. When you buy from us, you can expect your experience to be transparent and stress-free. For your convenience, we have locations in Cumberland, Oakland, and Kaiser, which means you can get the finest cars at the lowest prices close to home. Visit us today at any of our locations to experience the Timbrook difference, or shop online at timbrook.com.
Determining whether you need emergency care or not requires special training. The next time you visit an urgent care, ask if your doctor is board certified in emergency medicine.
Hi, I'm Dr. Rana Matthias Monceau. I'm board certified in emergency medicine, and I'm trained to recognize when a condition may require more than just an urgent care evaluation. I believe in treating each patient individually, not just as another number. Health Matters Urgent Care. Better medicine, exceptional care. Barton Boulevard, next to the Bel Air Plaza.
And we welcome everybody back as we kind of go over the second half kickoff with Dre Allen and Gavin Root out in midfield. We're looking at a very competitive game from top to bottom. This one. We talked about it as we rolled into the half. How by this point in some of the other games, there's already a decent lead or something like that, to where it was almost just kind of rolling into the second half. But this second half is really going to make or break the winner of this game. So it's fun just to be a part of games like this where it's just competitive all the way through, and it's just a shootout back and forth on scores.
Right. And Kaiser's got themselves in a they're down by 2 points, but they're in a position where the defense stepped up when they needed to step up and made a play at the end of the first half, and actually put the offense in position to score. Didn't quite get there, but they were able to. They intercepted the ball at around the 7-yard line and ended up getting down to the Jefferson 10 and just fell a little short because they ran out of time. But Kaiser's got to come out here and make a statement on defense and hope that they can get a little bit of a pushback here. And like we said, in a shootout like this, you really want to turn the tables and not keep going back and forth, and allow yourself to take over the cycle and then turn it in your favor. So I know that they're going to want to come out here and really try and control Jefferson and see if they can change that up a little bit.
So as the Kaiser team makes their way out for the second half kickoff, reminder that our kickoff is brought to you by First People's Community Federal Credit Union, the official kickoff sponsor of Golden Tornado football.
Seth Ernest will kick off.
See if Seth Ernest can pin them deep here and give them a long field. No, they went for a short.
No pin deep, onside kick. It is recovered by Kaiser.
Well, there you go. That is exactly what Kaiser needed to happen. That's not the way I thought it was going to happen, but that's what they needed to happen is to get that ball back as quickly as possible. In 2 seconds, that's about as quick as you can do it on a kickoff. Got an injured Cougar out here.
So we take a moment for the injury.
I almost think that he twisted his leg when he turned to get the initial ball because it just went over his fingers. It's Chase Hageman out there, it looks like, number 55.
Let's see if we can get the replay back on that one, possibly. See maybe what might have caught him up. We see the ball bounce towards him. And looks like the Kaiser defender ran into him.
Looked like he had his left foot planted, and as he was leaning down, the Kaiser player came over and maybe twisted it. They're messing around down there with his left ankle. But yeah, that's what we talked about. Kaiser needed to do something to sort of change the narrative. The way the game was going was score. And being down by 2 points, the last thing they wanted to do was let Jefferson, get that opening kickoff and go right down and make it a 10-point game.
8 to 10-point game, yeah.
So, that's one way to do it is catch them off guard a little bit. There's wide open space. Number 55 there, Hagelin, was one of the only people that were going to get that ball, and it went right over his fingers. And he is getting up. So, well wishes to
which NFL team was it? I think it was it the Saints that the opening kickoff of the second half that they did an onside kick in the Super Bowl. I believe it was the New Orleans Saints a couple years back.
Was it against the Colts?
Yeah, I think it was the Saints-Colts
Yeah.
Super Bowl where I don't remember which team it was that even kicked. I think it might have been the Saints.
Yeah. I do remember that. But yeah, that's definitely something that they
a big momentum flip.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right off the gun. And I believe that it was Seth Healy who ended up recovering that.
Yeah, and he caught it on the run too. Now you can't advance a kickoff like that. However, he caught it on the run, so it will be moved back a little bit from where he originally touched it. Kaiser's lined up, they're ready to go. They're not quite done with the injured player yet.
As Mr. Kaysen Lanza is helping his teammate to the sideline, we wish Chase Hageman nothing but healthy recovery from this, as he's still having issues walking off the field. Kaiser will take possession here around the 40. Hand off to Dre Allen. He bounces it off tackle. And he will gain about 7 or 8 on the play.
Tackled by Brody Christensen.
He's coming right back out, and you know, we saw Kaiser in the first half when they started out. They were doing some outsizing and moving inside. This time they're starting inside, and see what kind of game plan they've got for their offense now.
They're going to keep it with Root.
Oh,
He is slung down. I was actually expecting to see a penalty call there for maybe like a horse collar or face mask even.
yeah, it definitely looked like the defender had a hold of some piece of equipment, but maybe it was just more of like a choke hold.
Be enough for the first down. Dre Allen going to try to bounce it. Defender tries to cut him down and gains a couple on the play.
Tackled by Nolan Nielad.
Yeah, Kaiser just coming right out and just
Gabe Ryan limping a little bit himself.
he came off a little earlier, a little bit lame as well.
Kaiser in the I formation. See Bradfield takes it off the left side. Gains maybe 2 on the play.
Nathaniel Mule was the first Cougar on the site.
Kaiser really brings the intensity right away as soon as they get the ball. They're just, you know, on the ball as soon as they run, on the ball, you know, really pushing it at Jefferson.
Root rolling out, going to keep it. He's going to tuck it up under, makes one man miss, and he's trying to drive his way within the 5-yard line. Will be brought down after the first down gain. Kaiser will have the first down around the, looks about the 3 or 4 yard line there.
Right. He drove right into the Timbrook red zone.
Hand off Zion Powell, who will bounce it out. He will take it in for the touchdown.
This Kaiser offense is so quick to the ball, they don't give us time to put our graphics up for the ads, and you know they're in the end zone before we're ready to even talk again, and that's what they want to do. That's what they want to establish against the other guys. Is
Zion Powell takes in the Timbrook red zone touchdown. As Seth Ernest lines up for the extra point. Kick is up and good. So Kaiser able to make a statement here early in the second half. Jefferson was supposed to receive the opening kick, but the onside kick was recovered by Kaiser, and they drove it down on him and got into the end zone.
Yeah, look at this kick again, and you know, just flips right over the, takes a weird bounce, double bounce, and just kind of went sideways.
And just went right into the awaiting hands of Seth Healy. And here's the touchdown replay. That quick jet motion to Zion Powell, who just tries to stretch it out to the corner, drops a shoulder to go into the end zone.
Yeah, just a great series. You have, it only took about a minute and a half for them to go down and score after getting that onside kick.
We now line up for our first People's Community Federal Credit Union kickoff. I want to also remind everyone as we roll through our second half of this game that tonight's production is powered by the Belt Group. Thank you to the Belt Group for powering our production and our production bus that controls everything we do here tonight. And another onside kick. It is recovered by Kaiser again.
That might be the first time I've ever seen two successful onside kicks like that. Wow.
So back-to-back quick little squib onside kicks. Kaiser recovers them both. Yeah, so now it's Kaiser's chance to really put them up.
Yeah. They wanted to change the momentum, and they definitely did that in the second half for sure.
Quick screen out to Zion Powell, who is cut down after a gain of maybe 1 on the play. It goes right through the hands of the defender, and Benny Oates falls on top of it.
Yeah, if Jefferson wasn't expecting that first one to do that, they definitely weren't expecting the second one to do that. Nobody's covering Seth Healy down here on the bottom. There we go.
Zion Powell goes in motion. They hand it back off the Powell backside. He tries to string it out, and he will gain maybe 1 or 2 on the play.
Zion Powell to carry. Tackled by Christian Blow.
And not a whole lot happening on the perimeter
42-yard line.
the last couple of times.
43-yard line. Gain yard. 38.
So now it's 3rd and 8. Gavin Root's going to roll out to the right. And he's going to chuck it downfield. And flags down on the play.
Thought he was going to catch that there for a second and not even need the penalty. But yeah, that's pretty much going to be a face guarding penalty, which you can't really do.
Well, we have
in high
another
school.
flag down here.
Is there going to be a late hit on the quarterback maybe?
That or a hold. We'll see what the determination of the referees will be. Got all the laundry out on the field on this one. And it looks like they're going to be backing Kaiser up.
We got 2 fouls.
Not sure why he backed them all the way up there. The penalty's offset. It should be still at the 43-yard line. We don't mark off 2 separate penalties like this. So I think there's a little miscommunication between the
referee walking the ball.
right.
Guys,
That's a
realize
no
it was
play there.
offsetting.
They didn't need to move that ball. All good. All good.
and just like how we got to keep each other in check, they got to keep
That's
each other
right.
in check
That's
as well.
right.
You know? So now we go back out here for 3rd and 8 once again. Root's going to roll out here to his left. Throw it out to Powell, who will get the first down. I think that's where Root was looking to throw on the play on the last time, you know, before he decided to chuck it deep to Sammy. It was open that time out to the left, though.
Zion put a nice hit on the defender there, Nicholas Smith. They just kind of ran into each other. And
Zion
Zion
rolling out
won.
to the right. There's Zion once again. Will get the catch. Pushed out of bounds by the Jefferson defender. Looks like it'll be close for a first down. Referee will call it. Jefferson will decide to call a timeout.
Yeah, that's probably a good timeout by Jefferson right there because, in my opinion, they were going to come right back with Dre Allen on an inside run and probably be out of position after two long plays like that.
Yeah, it looked like about 2 or 3 plays in a row they were running those rollout passes, and Kaiser starting to look like how Jefferson looked there in the first half, just kind of gouging them.
Mm-hmm. Jefferson
needing to recollect themselves as Kaiser starts to drive their way towards the red zone. Well, we got a quick moment. We want to remind you that the First Baptist Church of Burlington offers services at 9 a.m. Pastor Tom Coldwell and friends hold service on Facebook, or you can listen live at 107.1 FM.
Jefferson needed a timeout to regroup because they were getting pushed down the field there, and but it also gives Kaiser a little time to think about, okay, what do we want to throw at him? I think they're going to stick with Dre Allen here and try to run up the middle.
And look, there you go. Dre Allen lowering the shoulder. He bounces off some tacklers, and he will go into the end zone.
I was channeling my inner Tony Romo there and calling the plays.
Called the play.
Out there.
The delayed handoff to Dre Allen. Pinballs off of some defenders.
And that's an excellent play call. I mean, it is a good play call with the delay like that because they've been running all over him outside, and just that little extra time gave the middle time to open up, and Dre was just smooth sailing.
I love watching him pinball off of people, then dive into the end zone. He does his best Marshawn Lynch impression.
Yeah.
And the field goal is good for the extra point. Kaiser starting to stretch themselves out here a little bit, up 42-30 against the Jefferson Cougars. Here we go again. Root's going to simulate that rollout
Yep.
and just hand it off right up the gut. Low man wins. Dre Allen got below the defenders and then goes right into the end zone.
And you could see the entire Jefferson team, they were sucked right into that rollout, and it's hard to recover when you have Dre Allen running at you and you're already in motion in the other direction.
He kind of, I mean, you could see on the replay, it looked almost like he ran under the bridge.
Mm-hmm.
Both those guys went high, and he just got low.
Right, yeah.
And just split them.
Yeah, I think that, of course, Kaiser had the benefit of recovering those two squib onside kicks, but in addition to that, they've done some really, we haven't had to see the Kaiser defense yet.
Yeah, they're getting a good rest.
So
here.
they're getting a good rest.
Well, the ones that don't already play offense.
Right,
too.
true. But the offense has come right out and realized their game plan didn't need to change. They just need to make sure they scored.
So it looks like they're switching to more of a hands team. They got some receivers and stuff like that up on the front line of this one. They want to make sure that it doesn't happen a third time.
I'm going to say Ernest puts a little boot into this one. No?
Nope, he does it again.
Same thing.
This one's a high bounce, and they just drop on this one. They want to play it safe on that go.
I thought they might go ahead and kick that one deep and just try to, pin Jefferson back and give him a little bit longer field. But so now we get to see the Kaiser defense for the first time in the second half, and we've already played through two possessions, and
Roberts rolls out, throws that comeback throw. Looks like it will be short for the first down.
Spencer Powell with the reception there. Continuing where he left off in the first half. Traditional spread with two receivers on both sides. Out to Isaiah Fritz, who shakes off a couple tackles and then is brought down by number 71, Vito Amoruso.
Vito with a good tackle to play in the open field, getting down there.
Bradfield on the stop also.
Sammy Roberts trying to play the quick passing game here. We'll hand it off on the play. So it looks like, I think it's number 6, Christian Blow. Matt, if you look around Kaiser High School, if you look around the stadium, they got banners all over from Fox's Pizza Den, who do a lot of helping out with the local community and with Kaiser High School athletics. So we want to give a big thank you to Kaiser Fox's Pizza Den for not only being a part of our stream and our broadcast, but being a part of Kaiser High School athletics as well. Remember to use code Kaiser Football Online. As Jefferson will take it into the end zone there.
Standing around, we must have a flag back here somewhere.
Try to get a determination from the referee on what the call is here.
It's definitely against Jefferson. They're moving him back.
Yeah, call a hold there, looked like on the screen. That's why I didn't get too excited whenever I seen him go into the end zone there, because I seen the laundry on the backside of the field there.
It must have been one of those fairly obvious holds, too, because the Cougars just kind of stood there where they were. They weren't.
Yeah, they saw it coming.
They weren't in any hurry to move.
The only one
down.
that kept running was the receiver with the ball.
No.
Roberts back's going to roll out to his left. And he will complete the pass.
Yeah, that wasn't a necessary hit. It wasn't a hard hit, but
Sammy Bradfield will get the penalty called on him there.
yeah, it wasn't a hard hit, but when you're down in high school football.
Yeah, it's not the NFL where they can slide down, catch the ball, and get back up
Right.
and keep going. So at that point, whenever he slid down, a simple tap on the shoulders
Right.
would have sufficed.
Yeah, Grant, he was coming in with a head of steam, but just continuing in motion, you can't always stop yourself, but unfortunately that is a penalty.
So that will move Jefferson up to about the 11-yard line. Roberts back in shotgun with 5 wide. Brings a man in motion as Robinson. Tries to throw it out to Robinson, who has Benny Oates all over him.
Benny Oates did a good job of pushing Robinson out into the flat a little bit more. I think Robinson wanted to turn that one up, and Benny did a great job of saying, no, you're going to stay up there, and
preventing kind of the wheel upfield.
Yeah, he prevented that little route like that, and quarterback threw the ball where he should have been, but Benny did a good job of keeping the receiver away from there.
So once again, we got 2 receivers out wide right here, and nobody really out there to protect it. They're going to throw out that way. And Gidney will make the reception. You know, we kind of saw that from the beginning. They had the corner out there on the outside receiver, but there was absolutely nobody out there on the slot.
Right.
They're going to take advantage of that every time.
Right. And the cornerback goes up into a tight coverage against the wide out there, and there's nobody behind him to help, and that's just why that play is successful.
Handoff up the middle of the Blow, who will take it into the end zone for the Jefferson touchdown.
2 yards.
Christian Blow takes it into the end zone on the inside handoff. We'll try to bring them a little closer to Kaiser here with 7:04 in the third quarter.
And this is, you know, like we said, when you're in a shootout, it's fine to go back and forth as long as you can get yourself up by 1 additional score. So Kaiser's in a position where as long as they can run score for score, they're okay. And that's not good.
And they're calling it not good because he did not cross the goal line there. So it is no good. He's trying to plead his case to the referee that he made it, but...
Yeah, as soon as, you know, and we talked about that just a second ago with the penalty against Bradfield, as soon as his knee was down, that play's dead. He can't roll or fall or slide into the end zone after that. So his knee went down and the ball
wherever
bounced.
the ball's located once that knee
Exactly.
makes contact. So
Exactly.
So with that, Kaiser up 42-36.
Yeah, we weren't. We knew that Jefferson could still score. Wasn't that their offense was suddenly not going to work anymore. But Kaiser did themselves a good thing by getting the ball in those 2 onside kicks and switching the momentum around a little bit.
So as we get ready to line up for our First People's Federal Credit Union kickoff.
I wonder if Jefferson will do any trickery of their own here and try to take a page out of Kaiser's playbook, because both of these teams, like we've talked about, both of these teams know the offenses can score from wherever. So field position isn't necessarily a huge deal.
Also, they try one of their own. This time, Seth Healy once again gets it this time for his team's return.
Right.
He's able to fall on it.
Yeah, and like we said, there's really no reason to try and pin them deep, because either team has so many weapons on offense. They're going to score from wherever they're at. So if you can get the ball back on a onside.
Hey, Matt, can you do me a favor? You predicted the Dre Allen handoff that went for a touchdown, and you predicted the onside kick. You want to predict something? You want to predict another touchdown here on this play and see?
Yeah, I don't know. If they do, it could be that fake sweep. Nope.
Oh, that one goes nowhere. Very delayed handoff. Defense gets in there quickly. Dre Allen has nowhere to go, so he'll be backed up for about a 2-yard loss. Yeah, I think if you made a prediction on that one, you would have lost that.
Yeah, I wasn't feeling that one there.
Root back in shotgun. Brings Powell in
There's
motion.
the
We'll
Sammy
fake
Bradfield
the handoff
play,
to Powell.
but he
Completes it to Powell now,
went to the underman. Yeah.
who bounces off of one defender and is eventually wrapped up and dragged down. Gain of about, looks like 10 or 11 on the play, will be 3rd and short. Georgia Margaret, I'd like to say, go Golden Tornado. Thank you for being sponsors of our game tonight.
Oh.
Hand off to Sammy Bradfield, who is twisted up, rolled back. Bradfield able to get up on his feet there. Very
Flag
glad.
came in there. Not really. I didn't see what happened there. If the flag went where the penalty happened, I didn't see a penalty happening there. That was a face mask. Okay.
Very happy to see Sammy get back up after that because he got rolled up kind of awkwardly. Thought that was actually going to be a broken play there initially because Root and Powell kind of ran into each other.
Yeah, that was a little like whoops.
Root back and shotgun brings Van Pelt in motion. Hands it off to Van Pelt out wide.
Look at that blocking out
He
there.
has a little bit of an edge and will gain, looking at about maybe 7 yards on the play.
Kaiser's done a fantastic job with the sealing off the outsides on those runs, and very few of those runs have gone for less than 6 or 7 yards anytime they run it.
Root hand off to Dre Allen here. Able to make one man miss, but is eventually brought down by Jefferson linebacker, number 50, Brady Chrisman. Dre Allen will gain about maybe 1 yard on the play as we look at a 3rd and 4. Root's going to roll out to his left. He's going to keep. He's going to cut up field.
Secure that ball.
Had that ball hanging on like a loaf of bread.
Yeah.
Thought for sure that was going to get punched out there when a defender got to him, but he managed to hold on and get the first down gain.
And he did that play before at the end of the second half where he rolled out, and he's got a dump off man out there if he needs it, and then he suddenly cuts up inside and he's gone.
Hand off to Van Pelt. He bounces, and he's able to bring a couple defenders with him. Van Pelt's not a very big kid, but he kept them leg driving.
Yeah, that's a really good strong run for him. He's 5'7", 140 pounds. He's not real big, but he's definitely strong. He drug 2 defenders with him on that play.
And as Van Pelt saying, I need a breath.
Yeah, he's getting a well-deserved break there.
Zion comes back out on the field for that wingback spot.
We got an unsportsmanlike conduct call against the Cougars. That'll go half the distance to the goal line.
And I'll tell you something out. All these constant jet sweeps and going outside. As somebody who used to play, on the offensive and defensive line, I can tell you when you're on the D line and you're constantly trying to chase down and run stretch plays outside all day long, you get exhausted.
Mm-hmm.
So, and you can definitely tell. Look at their D line; they got their hands on their hips.
Yeah,
that defensive line's a little tired already.
Oh, that's neat.
And it will go in for the end zone.
That's the first we've seen that play from them.
That's the first time I've seen that play ran tonight, at least. Looked like they're going to hand it off to Dre Allen up the middle there on the belly and just hand it off on the reverse to Zion Powell, who makes the cut and takes it up into the end zone.
It worked.
I can't wait to see the replay after the game tonight and just see you go, that's neat.
I thought it was neat, yeah.
The Seth Ernest kick is up and good.
4:56 remaining in the third. Detroit Tigers 49. Jefferson.
Yeah, I like the play calling tonight. Here's the neat play again.
So it's like they're going to hand it off to Dre Allen, hand off on the reverse to Powell, who makes the cut up field. Looks like it possibly could have been stretched out wide, but he made a read and cut it up. Walked to the end zone, did the old Barry Sanders handoff to the referee, and jogged back to the sideline. So while we got a moment here, let's take a word from one of our sponsors. And as we line up here for the kickoff,
I have no idea what to expect off of this kickoff, so I'm not even going to predict anything. There we go.
this
Put it
one
down
goes deep.
There you go.
And it will roll into the end zone.
You can't go to the well too often with those onside kicks, so yeah, that was probably a good idea just because they had everyone scooched up there a little bit.
Well, I mean, it
to
seems
put
like for the
over their
most part,
heads.
this whole game for both sides, they've been getting either the possession on because of a good return on their side of the field, or at least within the 40s, because everybody's been doing these onside kicks. So
Right.
it'll be interesting to see Jefferson actually take a possession from the 20.
I think this might be the first time they've started 80 yards away from the other end zone. Rushed that throw just a little bit on that one. He's really zipping that ball over there, but if his aim's off, he can't really recover and make a catch on a zippy pass like that.
So far in the game, Kaiser has 293 yards rushing so far in the game tonight.
Wow. And flirting with 200 passing, too.
Let our stat man Vic try to get our passing numbers so far on the night as well.
Okay. The last two plays there, Roberts, who's been pretty on point tonight, has been off with his throws, and I don't know if that's because he's being rushed or if it's more because the routes aren't being run right. That was just a sort of a complete misread on that one.
Roberts back in shotgun, 4 receivers out wide. He's going to drop back, roll out to his right side. Tries to throw the comeback route, but it's a little too far out of bounds. The fall incomplete.
Number 24, Chase Evans, was blitzing on that one, and there was a little bit of pressure. And again, I don't know if Roberts can feel that pressure coming and is rushing his throws, or if the receivers are running slightly different routes. But those were probably the three. Anytime I've seen him throw 3 consecutively not very good passes this all night.
He's maintained a pretty consistent game so far today. Looks like Jefferson's going to line up for the punt here. Back deep is Powell and Van Pelt.
I don't think they'd fake it here, but they're doing a lot of running around there.
And delay a game against the Jefferson punt team. We'll back them up a little further.
If I'm Kaiser, I mean, it's just me, but if I'm Kaiser, I just put one guy back there to receive and just bring the house and see what you can do down here. Or hope for a bad snap or something like that. Not much of a rush at all.
And kick is up, and it will bounce out of bounds around the 47-yard line. I was going to make I couldn't help myself. I had to make a comment about Nathaniel Mule kicking like a mule.
Yeah.
I tried to refrain from it, but I had
Right.
to say it at least once tonight.
Yeah, you have to.
So far tonight from the passing stats we've accumulated, Gavin Root is 11 for 15 for 218 yards, and I believe 3 scores.
218 yards passing, 293 on the ground. I mean, that's a well-rounded offense right there.
Hand off inside to Sammy Bradfield. He makes a cut, makes one man miss. He is wrapped up and brought down.
They're saying there was a fumble on that play.
Jefferson defenders are saying they have the ball, and they do.
I think
Sammy Bradfield was stripped.
he must have been stripped as he went to the ground, because I didn't see the ball itself fly out. So they must have pulled it out of the ground, or pulled it out of his arms as he was going to the ground. If we can get another look at that or not. Jefferson's already lined up.
We'll try to look at it here after the next play. Handoff up the middle to Christian Blow, who is brought down after a gain of about 5. Yeah, here's a replay for the fumble to Bradfield. He's holding it there into the right arm. It looks like maybe number 16, looks like 16 stripped it out. as he was going down.
Yeah, it almost looked like his forward progress was stopped before he got to that point, but, you know, that's not our call.
Christian Blow runs it, gets enough for the first down. Anthony Milley and Chase Evans on the tackle. Cougars now at the ball in Kaiser territory. Roberts is back. Man in motion, hands off to Christian Blow once again.
They brought Mule back in there to add a little oomph in the running game there, and ran right behind him again, and that's been an effective play for Jefferson tonight. Pretty much anytime they've run it, not necessarily getting 30 yards or anything, but they're getting a good 8-9 yards every time.
Yeah, they're getting some solid punches on the ground up the middle now. Kaiser's really trying to key on those passes outside, trying to flare out to the flats, leaving the middle open. Hand off the Blow once again. Gains enough for another first down for the Cougars. Benny Oates with the tackle.
Looks like they're going to stick with Blow and the running back there. We had seen Evan Toole for most of the first half, and it looks like we've seen Blow more this half.
He's been running pretty efficiently so far. Man in motion is Gidney. Roberts is going to roll out to his right, throw to Gidney, and it is almost intercepted by Benny Oates.
Wanted an offensive pass interference there, but, you know, regardless, they knocked the pass down. That's the next best thing you can do.
Benny Oates was in good position there to try to pick that one off. Gidney had to turn into a cornerback himself on that one, try to prevent it. Roberts back in shotgun, four receivers out wide, one running back to his left. Hands off to Blow. He'll gain about 5 or 6 on the play.
I'm scanning the other sideline, and I actually can't seem to find Evan Toole.
Once again, Roberts back in shotgun, four receivers out. 3rd and 4 for this Cougars offense. Hand off to Blow once again. He is met by a couple Kaiser defenders.
A little second effort got him a little closer to the line to gain, but still a little short of the first down.
It's going to be about 4th and 1, it looks like.
Yeah, I can't find Toole on the sideline, so maybe there was something going on there that we missed with him coming out of the game.
Derek Hartman asked, when was the last time Kaiser had over 200 yards passing in a game? That's a good question. Flags down on the play.
Yeah, that's a question I would ask, because
Blow a little slow to get up. He's taken a good many carries. I mean, he's had probably what, about at least 6 or 7 carries.
He has, and if Toole's not in there to relieve him, looks like they're bringing in number 9, Nicholas Smith. So their running game has taken a little bit of a hit if they don't have Toole to come in there to relieve Blow. And I see Toole walking around with his helmet off. I just found him.
Will be a penalty against Kaiser, which will give Jefferson the first down there. Quick screen out wide to the left. Isaiah Fritz with the catch, brought down on the play by Sammy Bradfield. And
Seth Healy got knocked down behind that play, and I know, you know, we were talking about the rub routes and stuff like that, and it seemed like it was slightly early contact there, but it's happening, must be happening just at that right amount of time that the referees aren't looking at that as any kind of interference.
Got 3 receivers out to the right side. And ball is underthrown by Roberts. Will fall incomplete out of the end zone.
So it looked like Spencer Powell might have slipped and fell down out there as well. Couldn't really recover to make a play towards the ball.
So now we're looking at about a 3rd and 5 for this Jefferson Cougar offense. Roberts once again with 3 receivers out to the right. He's going to drop back, try to throw it to the slant, and it will fall incomplete. Sammy Bradfield with the coverage.
Excellent defense by Bradfield there. He'd gotten beat on the play a little bit, and I think that's actually similar to the slant play that they scored on earlier, and Bradfield just was out of position just a hair, and that time he was able to come back in and knock the ball loose, even though he couldn't get in front of it ahead of time.
And we got 4th and 5.
The crowd's getting into it. Limited attendance, but a very vocal crowd. And now we got a timeout called by the Cougars. So I just want to, while we have a break here, I want to point out that next week they'll be selling digital downloads. Allegheny Media will be selling digital downloads for $50 for all home games. And 100% of those proceeds go to the Booster Club. And there'll be a link on AlleghenyMedia.com/Kaiser where you can go in and purchase those digital downloads. So pretty cool fundraiser there for the Booster Club, and also you'll be able to get all these games digitally saved for you to watch anytime you want to watch.
So after the timeout, a very critical 4th and 5 here at the 10-yard line. There's only so many people allowed in the stands, but you can still hear the feet stomping.
That's right.
People getting hyped up for this 4th down.
Jefferson's got a nice crowd over there on the away side as well.
Kaiser out in a tight man coverage on these Jefferson receivers. He's going to throw it to the back of the end zone, and it will fall incomplete.
Throw was just a tad behind the receiver. The receiver has the edge on the getting up above the defender, but the throw is just a little bit behind him, and Kaiser gets to take over with the ball on their own 10-yard line. This might be the furthest back they've started all game as well.
Well, remember they hurt themselves with the penalties and was actually backed up a little bit further.
Right.
There in the 2nd quarter.
That's right. That's right.
Hand off to Sammy Bradfield. Holds on to it tightly this go around.
That'll probably end it for the 3rd quarter. That 3rd quarter was brought to you by Fox's Pizza of Kaiser. We've still got a quarter left, and you can order some food and watch the end of this game.
Remember to use code Kaiser Football Online to save 10% on your order for tonight. So with the end of the 3rd quarter, we go into the 4th, and one heck of a shootout. Kaiser's up 49-36 against the Jefferson Cougars.
Yeah, Kaiser's really, Kaiser's not necessarily, at least not tonight, they're not a team that's going to do a, what are they at on their own 10? They're not going to do a 90-yard drive and use up the whole quarter. That's not necessarily their brand of offense. But what they really want to do is they want to get down the field and score, stay away from the turnovers. 13 points seems like a lot in the 4th quarter, but not against a team that has firepower like Jefferson does, where they can score quickly as well.
Scores from around the league. Frankfurt beats Petersburg 42-20. Kaiser and Frankfurt both were making their way up in the polls this past week before both teams took a loss. Frankfurt losing to, I believe, Washington. and Kaiser losing to Point Pleasant this past week. Both teams looking to try. Well, Frankfurt already got their win this week for a little bit of redemption. Kaiser still looking to try to seal theirs away, as they are up by 13 here going into the fourth quarter with possession.
Yeah, Kaiser's goal right here, besides the fact that they want to get down and score a touchdown, is do not turn the ball over.
Handoff off the middle to Dre Allen.
I have a feeling as long as Dre is getting about 4 or 5 yards or anyone else, they're going to try and stay within the tackles and just try to eat up some time here and get down the field.
Gain of a little over 4 on the play will make it 3rd and inches. Kaiser out in the base wing T set. Hand off to Dre Allen. He's got a little bit of space. He bounces off one tackler and is finally brought down.
Even when Kaiser's just trying to run the ball up the middle, Dre Allen's he's got his he's tuned in and he's getting just driving the yards down the field.
Hand off to Powell on the outside. And penalty flags down.
I think Vito Amoruso's in a tough battle out there with Big Drake Sims, and I think Drake started to pull away from him there, and it got a hold against Kaiser on that one. Two big guys out there going at it each other. It's been a fun battle to watch. That'll back Kaiser up.
I'll tell you who really has a tough job is the center, Bradley Summers. I mean, Bradley Summers only listed at 6'1", 155 playing center, and you got a guy like Sims there at that D tackle spot who's about more than 2 of them.
Right, right.
Motion man is Powell. Root will keep it. He has all the time in the world. Powell is wide open. He's at the 50. He's just going to try to bounce around. He takes the contact and will fall forward about the 33-yard line.
That was we talk about how we got an injured Cougar down here in the backfield.
Let's see. Let's look here at the replay, see what might have happened here.
But it just the concentration, and for Powell to keep running his route and stay out there. I mean, that's like a seasoned passing game right there, where the quarterback is really used to, where his receivers are going to be, and they know where to go. And Powell could have kind of stopped after that and just stayed on the flat, and he realized, well, my guy fell down, I better keep going. And Root kept the play alive long enough to dump the ball off to him.
Yeah, that shows that Kaiser's really starting to build up a strength in their own passing game itself. Being able to make those quick fly adjustments and the reads like that to find the dump-off man in the open field.
And Julian Matthews gets up, walks off on his own power. It looked like he was holding his shoulder when he was on the ground, so speedy recovery to him. And speaking of speedy recovery, if you've got any healthcare needs, make sure you check out Health Matters Urgent Care for injury or illness.
Also, remember, you still got time to get your flu shots.
That's right.
Oh, Kaiser getting a little intricate here. I think I've seen Michigan do this a couple years back. Hand off to Van Pelt out wide. And he is brought down after a gain of about 5. People look at that and they think it's kind of funny that they do it. But what you do is you immediately run up to the line and run your play. You don't give them time to make an adjustment.
Right. Right, and you're not using a lot of motion, so as soon as you get set, you can run.
Hand off to Sammy Bradfield, trying to look for a hole. Makes contact and puts a shoulder into a man, but is drove back down. Gains about 4.
This Kaiser offense is fun to watch. They're a really fun to watch offense. It's not here's that play again.
So you immediately go up to the line and boom, snap the ball.
Right. And you still have defensive players trying to get into position.
Hand off to Dre Allen up the middle. We'll get enough for the first down.
He's got that good slide step. Whenever he gets that ball, he just slides right where that hole is and gets through and got enough for the first down.
Looks like the lead singer from the Temptations, man, just doing that little step out slide.
Right, exactly. Yeah, like I said, this is a fun offense to watch. They do a lot of different neat things. That's my word
There you go.
tonight.
Yeah, that's your word of the night, neat. Handoff will be to Bradfield. We'll gain maybe 2 on the play.
Nolan Newitt and Nicholas Smith on the tackle. Gain 2 to the play, 2nd and 8.
Root back in shotgun. He's going to roll out to his left. He's going to complete it to Sammy Bradfield.
Haven't heard his name as much in the second half as we did in the first half, but he's still making his presence known by taking some handoffs and getting some good receiving yards.
I mean, if he had another 3 receiving touchdowns in the second half, then I wouldn't have argued. Oh, ball is loose. Looks like a Kaiser defender fell on it. Looked like the old the Oakland Raiders holy roller play.
Yeah, I wasn't sure. It almost looked like he flipped that forward, which, obviously would have been illegal because he was well past the line of scrimmage.
Penalty flags down.
It's going to be a hold against Kaiser. Yeah, that was an interesting play. I'm not 100% sure what happened there. Almost seemed like he was heaving it forward, which...
Remind me of the old Ken Stabler holy
roller. Let's take a look here. It must have got popped out of his hand. I thought he was going to dump the ball off. Yeah, I think he got it knocked out of his hand, and then he tried to flip it to himself and ended up flipping it forward.
Kaiser offense back set up. Motion man is Powell. Root will fake it and throw it to Sammy Bradfield. It will fall incomplete, just a little too far out wide for him. We look at a 4th and 7.
Stop the clock too. Then is this within Ernest's field goal range here? Well, looks like they're going to give it a shot.
I've seen him warm up and make kicks from this range during warm-ups.
Mm-hmm. He's right in the middle of the hashes there. He can aim it straight.
We'll see if he's able to. It's different when you're kicking off a tee in warm-ups and whenever it's live.
A 35-yard field goal attempt. And
it is up. Oh, and it just binks off the bottom crossbar.
So he's hit the left upright and the middle upright tonight. So
if he's doing a trick shot competition, he's doing pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah, he kicked that ball pretty well.
That kick was clean. If he'd have been able to get just a little more loft or a little more leg behind it, it probably would have crossed over.
Yep, right on the corner almost.
Just binked off the corner of the crossbar. So now the Jefferson offense will take over at the 20. And good hard contact from the Kaiser defense there. Running back will gain about 1 on the play. I believe that is Evan Toole back out there with the handoff.
Yeah, he had his helmet off there for a while, and he was running over on the sideline. Looked like maybe he had a leg injury or maybe some cramps or something, but he is back now. He was a pretty strong runner for that first half.
Handoff back up the middle.
Brought down rather quickly that time. Wasn't quite as slippery as he normally was.
Roberts back in shotgun. Low snap will hit off the ground. tries to throw it up for Casey Lanza, will be overthrown.
Yeah, Roberts has lost a little bit of his touch. Hasn't been quite as effective as he was in the first half, and that could also be due to Kaiser's defense making some adjustments as well in the secondary and changing up the coverage a little bit.
Roberts rolls out to his left, throws cross body on it, and it will be incomplete, saying his foot was on the line.
They've been getting most of those calls tonight with the close sideline and plays, but that one, again, that wasn't Spencer Powell that had the
toe taps earlier.
Had those, the ones in the first half.
Yeah, very close call, but referee's down there on the field. He can see it cleaner than we can.
Casey Lanza's not very happy over there on the sideline. Very dejectedly takes his helmet off.
Kaiser will take over with great field position now at the 25. Root's going to throw the deep ball, and it is.
Wow, he got it.
Caught! Touchdown! Damian Emmerich with a fantastic catch in the end zone.
He had to catch that one twice. It hit his hands, and then he grabbed it and hauled it in right before he went out of bounds.
We're going to get Mr. Vic to add up these stats again. Root might be on pace for a 300-yard passing game the way this is going right now.
4 passing touchdowns in a game is another probably not very common stat.
This kick is up and good. Kaiser now with 7:12 left is stretching out their lead up 20 points. Let's look at it again. Just a straight drop back. Everybody else is in coverage. The only man on a route is Emmerich.
He has to catch it twice because the defender almost knocked it away, and he hauled it in and just got it at the last minute before he went across.
Amazing focus by Damian Emmerich on that play.
It's like crossing into a different sport, but sort of like a Willie Mays over-the-shoulder catch there for him. We're going to get some stats here.
So now Gavin Root's looking at about 285 yards passing and 4 touchdowns.
Hey, there's 7 minutes left in this game. I mean, he might do that. You know, he might be able to.
He can get 15 more yards.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it's been really great to see not only the growth of these young players as the season's gone on, but even the confidence in the coaching staff to call certain plays, trusting in their guys. Kick is back, recovered by Gidney, who is wrapped up and brought down around 32. Damian Emmerich, who scored the touchdown catch, makes the tackle on the play.
That was your first People's Community Federal Credit Union kickoff there. And it looks like, it just looks like that Kaiser's playing with a slightly different intensity right now. Like they've just sort of said, you know what, we're taking over this game, and that's how it's going to be from now on. Let's see if they can keep that up on defense.
Roberts is back in shotgun, 4 receivers out wide. Snap back. He's trying to wind one deep for himself. And it is incomplete, just out of the outstretched arms of number 16, Keyshawn Robinson.
Keyshawn had him beat. He was definitely behind the defense, but I'm not sure that Roberts had quite enough arm on that one. Had to heave that one pretty hard because Robinson was in a full sprint.
So now Jefferson is going to try to. It's kind of in danger time where they've got to try to get points and get points quick. Roberts rolls out to his left side and completes the pass out to number 7, Casey Lanza.
He was going to make sure he had his feet in bounds that time when he caught the ball. He wasn't going to leave any question to whether he was in bounds.
Will be enough for the first down for Jefferson.
Jefferson needs to, they're going to either take a long shot down the field or they're going to keep running these out patterns and try to get towards the sidelines to stop the clock, save their timeouts. They only have one left.
Guys, there are only 2 defenders out here on the far side, on the near side with 3 receivers. Roberts with a little bit of pressure coming at him. He's having to tuck it and go.
Tried to get out of bounds, and he didn't.
He will slide out. Not as quick as what Root is running around back there, but he was able to keep the play alive.
He's also got wearing a knee brace, and he's hobbling a little bit, so I don't know if maybe he's got an injury and he is normally a little bit more mobile. And I don't know if Vic can verify this or not. We haven't had a sack tonight, have we? No. For as much passing as we've seen, we haven't seen a sack tonight.
Roberts back, throws off his back foot, and it is picked off. Benny Oates with the interception.
And I think besides the fact that Benny read that play really well, Roberts is lame on that left leg, and when he went back to pass, like you said, he threw that off his back foot and couldn't put any pressure on that left leg and underthrew the ball horribly.
Benny Oates undercut that almost that same exact route on the last possession of theirs, where Gidney had to help swat it away from Oates there. But this time, Oates comes down with it, gets the interception, and Kaiser gets the ball back. Motion man is Van Pelt. Handoff will be to him. Van Pelt bounces it out and gets nowhere. And it is stripped. And
well, apparently
Keyshawn Robinson will take it all the way back.
Wow.
That was a bang play if I've ever seen it.
Yeah, I think everyone except Robinson and the guys chasing him thought that play was dead.
Yeah.
That was about 40 yards, around a 35-yard run back, and that's one way Jefferson can score some quick points is if they get him on defense, which they haven't really done tonight.
Now Roberts back with 5 receivers out wide. Drop back, try to slow the slant pattern, and it is caught. Kaysen Lanza. So Jefferson trying to chip into this lead a little bit. Brings it in. Kaiser's up 56-44. Here's the strip. Van Pelt has it out wide, and it looks like the contact, it looks like he was on the verge of going down.
Wow.
And Robinson just snagged it and went.
Yeah.
He took the old coaching term, play to the whistle.
He definitely did. And that official was right there watching that whole thing.
So while we got a moment here, let's take a word from one of our sponsors.
Determining whether you need emergency care or not requires special training. The next time you visit an urgent care, ask if your doctor is board certified in emergency medicine.
Hi, I'm Dr. Rana Matthias Monceau. I'm board certified in emergency medicine, and I'm trained to recognize when a condition may require more than just an urgent care evaluation. I believe in treating each patient individually, not just as another number. Health Matters Urgent Care. Better medicine, exceptional care. Barton Boulevard, next to the Bel Air Plaza.
Thank you, Health Matters Urgent Care, for being a sponsor of tonight's game. As we have Jefferson lining up for the First People's Credit Union, Federal Credit Union kickoff.
We're definitely seeing a lot of offense tonight. That's the first bit of defensive scoring we've
Kaiser
seen.
lining up into an onside coverage. Anthony Mealy will collect it. Kaiser was waiting for the onside kick on that one. They had the hands team up front.
Yeah, Jefferson still has to score twice to even consider tying it up, and that is also assuming that Kaiser doesn't score again as well.
So Kaiser offense setting up here at around the 45-yard line. 2 receivers out to the left side. Quick screen out to Sammy Bradfield. Tries to bounce around his blocker. And we'll gain about 4 on the play.
You know, I'm counting down in my head with each passing play, the closer he gets to 300 yards.
Gain of 5, second and 5.
That's 5 more.
Root back in shotgun.
I'm going to try and run some time off the clock here to slow it down.
Snap back route will hand off to Dre Allen. He's keeping the feet driving. He's still going. He's still going. 30, 20. Ball comes loose. And Dre recovers his own fumble.
Rolled right on it. That was a lucky bounce for him right there. I tell you, we're seeing a lot of plays tonight that we think are just about done, and they're not.
I mean, he's behind his blockers, contact's made, everybody thinks they're going to blow it dead. He keeps them legs churning, and he just keeps plowing. Man, he reminds me of Marshawn Lynch when he runs the ball, man. And then
fell right on it.
By the grace of God, the ball falls back in his hands. While we're at it, if you need the grace of God in your life, First Baptist Church of Burlington, Pastor Tom Coldwell holds services at 9 a.m. Watch on Facebook or listen at 107.1 FM.
Dre Allen carry. Tackle by Brady.
Dre Allen with the carry. Brought down around the 5.
Am I not supposed to say how smooth that was? That was really smooth. You got him with the saving earlier, and then you got him that time. That was really good. That was an excellent segue.
Kaiser offense here at the 5-yard line. 2nd down.
Yeah, Kaiser's, you know, they're not used to taking that long in the huddle. They're probably all like, you know, an animal on a chain trying to go. Like, let me go, let me go.
Hand off to Dre. Will go nowhere.
He ran out a little bit of steam on that one.
Tackle by Jake Muff. No gain, 35.
We got some steam coming off the players' mouths now.
Yeah. Starting
to cool down out here.
Yeah.
We kept the windows in the booth today because we knew we wanted to stay a little warm ourselves.
Yeah, a little chilly out there today. It's supposed to get back up into the 70s next week, but right now it's chilly.
Yeah, this is some fall October football if I've ever seen it. Root back in shotgun. He's going to roll out to his right. He's going to pitch it out to Sammy Bradfield. He's going to take it in for the touchdown.
His 4th touchdown of the night, Sammy Bradfield. And now that was that was backwards, but that was still a pass, correct?
I don't know if that'll count since he was behind him.
Yeah, I don't know if that'll count.
I think that's just considered a lateral. That's just the old Pat White, Steve Slayton option right there. Tremendous play calling by this Kaiser offense tonight. I mean, kudos to all the coaches because them and the players have done a tremendous job with the execution and play calling in tonight's matchup.
Did a fantastic job game planning, and you know, I think they knew that the Cougars were going to score, but they had to limit it as much as they could, and to score when they had it. Here's that play. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, it was behind. Can't count as a pass there.
Yeah.
That's technically a rush for Bradfield.
Yeah, but it is his 4th touchdown.
That's his 4th touchdown
that's
of the
awesome.
day,
Yeah.
He must have watched the Pittsburgh Steelers game, watched some Chase Claypool highlights.
He
wanted to get 4 himself.
He's like, I'm wearing black and gold. I can do this too. Yeah, Kaiser did a good job there too, running some time off the clock. I mean, you know, they're up by 19 points now with less than 3 minutes left. And Jefferson can definitely score quickly.
Can they score that quick?
But they're going to have to score very quickly and multiple times.
Make some stops, turnovers.
And
that's the thing is they've made turnovers. They've gotten turnovers. They've gotten, stops. They had that strip for the touchdown. But Kaiser, they just stayed on top of it,
Yeah. Yeah, Kaiser's got 3 turnovers tonight, and...
Yeah, it's been punch, counter punch all night long. Right. Kick deep for Seth Ernest. Recovered by Spencer Powell. Trying to stutter step, trying to make something happen. He gets wrapped up and brought down around the 22. Also want to thank the people at the Belt Group for powering our production tonight. They bought the generator to power our production bus and to keep our stream going.
Got some numbers here. 260 people watching on YouTube and 170 on Facebook.
Thank you to everyone watching tonight. I hope you're enjoying the game as much as we are. He's winding it up and going deep. Jump ball to Powell, and he will collect it. And it falls through between his legs. This referee over here is calling it incomplete. I know I can see it from our angle. It went through his legs. Wow. The fans are not happy about that. You can see him collect it, but the ball was tucked between his legs on the ground. The crowd is not happy about that one.
I think the other official is the only one that didn't see that ball between his legs.
Rolls out to his left and overthrows. Let's see if we can see the replay on that pass.
The defender did a good job of just keeping him there and was ready to make the tackle.
So he makes the catch, he goes down, but then you see as he rolls over, that ball rolls out between his legs and hits the ground there. Yeah. So I don't know if they're considering him hitting the ground as the end of the possession.
Yeah, I don't know if this high school have the same rule that you have to control the ball all the way to the ground like NFL does. That would not have been a catch in the NFL, definitely. But I don't think it should have been a catch.
Robert Strauss back. Looks like he's going to wind up another one for deep ball. It is up in the air and incomplete. Intended for John Gidney.
Melee did a good job of timing his jump right just to get up in his face there. I also want to point out we've had 118,000 minutes watched in the first 3 home games online. Pretty impressive. Thanks for watching, everybody.
$118,000 minutes. I wonder what that breaks down to.
A lot. A lot.
Handoff up the middle to Blow, who will have nowhere to go.
Christian Blow on the carry.
Gains about 2 or 3 on the play.
Tackle by Viso, Amaruso.
Jefferson's not necessarily in much of a hurry right now, so I think they're just trying to get through this game and, get ready for the ride back down to Shenandoah Junction.
He's heaving it deep again, and it looks like it will be too far out of the reach of Gidney.
That's a turnover on downs.
You would think with it being 4th and 7, they try to just get to the sticks on that rather than go for the score.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, I think they're just trying to, they were just trying to see what they could do. They didn't seem to be hurrying. They didn't really seem to be rushing to get down there. So I think they were just trying to hand it off and then fling it down the field and let the receivers go up for the jump ball. Kaiser may come out in the V. Well, Jefferson only has 1 timeout, and I don't think they're going to try to stop the clock. They're just going to run the ball.
Hand off to Dre Allen.
Why, honestly, why take the chance of fumbling or getting anybody hurt? I think they're going to go into V formation now. I would.
80 yards. 2nd and 9.
I'm going to give another shout out to Health Matters Urgent Care. Thank you for sponsoring the 4th quarter to tonight's game. located in Bel Air. In the process now where you can go out and you call them in your car and you wait out there and then they will come out and bring you in. Some shifting going out there with the lineman.
Hand off to Dre. Looks like it won't go anywhere.
Dale
Get back to the line of scrimmage.
Stop by Brady Christian.
Still surprised they're handing the ball off and not just taking a knee there, but I think they will take a knee on this one because they're only going to have 12 seconds once the play clock gets down to 1 before the game clock runs out.
So as this game starts to wind down, man, Kaiser maintaining the outgun Jefferson, putting 63 points on the board.
And probably, 600 and some yards of offense.
Hand off to Powell outside.
Ryan Paul, the carry.
He's going to cut it. He's going to have nowhere to go. As we start to wind this game down here. So I believe the final throwing stats for Gavin Root. Looks like he had it with what was it, the 285?
He did get a 5-yard reception there. So he's right around 290.
Yeah, so Gavin Root had around 209 yards passing and 4 touchdown passes on the day.
Yeah.
So very, and I mean, we always run the ball well. So it was awesome to see both teams come out and honestly gunning. I mean, it looked like you were watching a Big 12 game out here today.
Oh yeah, it really
the way
did.
the offenses were throwing the ball.
And I'm not sure if we're going to have a handshake or what's going on out here.
I think they're just doing a wave or something like that.
Oh yeah, that's true. Good idea.
COVID regulations.
That's true. I keep
You know what teams hold
forgetting.
hands.
How do I forget that? It's only consumed my life for the last 9 months.
Well, we have one more. We have one more home game to go for the regular season. We'll see, what the playoffs and everything entail. But I want everybody to come out for the next home game. Watch our streams. As always, we'll be live on the Allegheny Media website, Kaiser High School Facebook page, and Allegheny Media's YouTube channel as well.
Yeah, so kind of
We'll do a quick recap of all the scoring plays here in the game. We're going to have a nice little chunk of them real quick.
yeah, I think Coach Steven right there has got to be happy with his players. He's probably going to want to work on some tackling practice next week because there were some missed tackles in the first half, but really came on strong. That's the first touchdown by Spencer Powell. He drug his foot, and this is first of 4 touchdowns that are going to go to Sammy Bradfield here.
Fake the jet, throw the crossing pattern, walk into the end zone.
And look good doing it too by making a move like that.
This time, Root's going to run. So we forgot that Roof, I mean, he had 4 passing touchdowns and a rushing touchdown, so 5 touchdowns on the day for Gavin Root.
Right. Yeah, just an overall really a really good show for the offense for Kaiser, and not only were they passing the ball well, but they were playing like a passing team. Root made a couple plays. You're going to see him just find Bradfield wide open, but Root made some good plays where he was waiting for his receiver to make an extra move to get out of trouble, and then would throw the ball. Just a fantastic game to watch from that standpoint.
That jet motion crossing route almost reminds you of like whenever you're playing a game of Madden. You got that one key play that you always know is going to work. Where
exactly.
Player's always going to be open on Madden. You just keep running that same play over and over, and that's essentially what it felt like for Gavin Root tonight. He's like, well, I'll just run this. I know he'll be open, and it worked for him all day.
For me, it was Bo Jackson and Tecmo Bowl. I would give him the ball. He could always score. So, yeah, you always have that one go-to play, and it absolutely dominated the passing stats for Kaiser.
Oh, here's
There's the neat play.
There's the neat play that Matt called earlier. And here's that beautiful fade.
Yeah, over-the-shoulder basket catch there, and great concentration for Damien there to make sure that he didn't lose that ball after the defender swatted at it.
And here is Keyshawn Robinson's strip that he took to the house.
Like we said, I think everybody in the stadium except for him and the guys chasing him thought that play was dead. And here's the little flip back for Bradfield's 4th and final touchdown. Not a passing touchdown because it was a backwards lateral.
All right, so on behalf of Allegheny Media, I want to thank our entire crew, Ryan and Katie Brenneman in our truck, James Borer for running our main cam, Eric Kirshner, who is a high school senior at Allegheny, who serves Allegheny Morning Live as a weather announcer, who came out here tonight and was our on-field camera. Also want to thank, obviously, Mr. Vic Clave for running statistics, and my man, Matt Shipway, for doing your thing.
Yeah.
So on behalf of Allegheny Media and Kaiser High School, I'm Christopher Welch. We'll see you guys next week. Thank you.